There we go. Yippee! We're now live. And we're back! Anywho.
Hello?
Picking back up on where we left off, which was more prepping for the heist. I think you guys got quite a bit of handy information outside of the museum this time around. Mostly just kind of looking into certain things, like learning that Zanian, being probably a beholder, and that likely a lot of the traps, well, are most likely going to be related that they're probably going to be on the floor, or at least triggered by something on the floor. Among other things. I mean, you do know there's some other, like, traps that aren't triggered by something on the ground. Or at the very least, I suppose, maybe not necessarily traps, but, you know, that's kind of the impression you guys kind of got with the two items in the front lobby. The sensor light and the orchestrion. On top of that, your reliable source of all things work and information related, Ugurg at the Hooded Hen, was able to provide you with a little detail saying that you guys aren't the only crew that's coming after this prize. And yeah, it's when you learned about Sugoku, who's a notorious gang leader, one who has often picked fights with the Syndicate, also has his eyes set to pursuing this, potentially this artifact. But, and I believe you guys had a game plan set in mind with all this.
We're still in the information gathering portion of our mission.
Yep. Lots of info gathering, which is good, you know.
Yeah.
Best to play with a full deck.
Right now the plan is this. We have quite a few hours before night. Broznov night.
Yep.
So I think the plan is, Thor and Akira are going to go do another pass through the museum with detect magic up. Then we come home, we take another nap, get all my spell slots back.
I believe you have another 12 hours, by the way.
Yes, so we do a quick run with where I burn as many spells as I need to, come back home, rest, get my spell slots back, then we'll go back to the museum. The second trip, Seiza and Taylor are going in before closing to observe their, like, closing protocols. And Core and Kira are gonna go down into the sewers to look for any connections down there that might lead into the museum. That's what I wrote for our plan for today.
Yep.
Wait.
That sounds about right.
Wait. I'm trying to decide what spells to take.
Alrighty. I am gonna go ahead and transition the scene here. Yeah. Okay, cool, everyone. I was about to be like, does everyone have their icons right? They do. Excellent.
Hooray! I haven't touched mine, so if it's not the same, something went wrong.
Oh no!
This is me.
Oh my god, we're all Seiza.
Why is my PNG Seiza now?
We're all Seiza.
Oh no. But yeah, so you guys have your game plan. You have roughly 12 hours.
Yeah. Well, we'll need to book it then because we gotta. I think the idea is that I burn as many slots as I can through the first pass through, and then get home and get them all back.
What was the part of it was you guys going into the museum and doing a second pass. What was the other part?
A third pass with different people.
Oh boy.
Yeah, for different purposes.
Yeah. So Core and Akira are going by themselves today. Pass through with Core's spells.
While that's going on, was anyone else doing anything else in the meantime?
Kayla might be making some alchemy spells, but
Okay.
I'll need to decide.
If there's nothing for Seiza to do to prep, like I said last time, she's probably just going to go check to make sure that her influence are alright.
Was there no other information gathering on anything else? Just the museum?
Yeah, I'm not sure what else we can do at this point.
Or potentially other things, potentially, but
We could station, like, well, Akira and Core are going in. We could station people outside, like a little bit a ways away from the museum to see if, like, there's any security on the outside we should be worried about.
that's another thing I was thinking of Kayla. Because I don't think that there will be enough time, and I don't. Probably not gonna be doing any pushing stuff.
Because we know there's rivals, so it might be interesting to see if on the outside there's other people casing people.
That would be funny. Run into them.
It's like,
know
oh,
what they look
yours
like.
here too, huh?
Yep.
Interesting.
Funny.
No,
What are
I
you doing
think
here?
Kayla will be doing that at least. She's not going to be up near the museum necessarily. But yeah, I think she'll have a poke around the vicinity.
Alrighty. It's gonna do a
Or
little.
maybe she can find like a nice tea shop or coffee shop or
Ooh,
I don't know,
a classic.
some place to have a nice lunch or
You gotta have your
whatnot while they're
sunglasses and your coffee and your little newspaper that you're
Yeah.
not actually reading.
totally.
You come across a boba shop and they're doing a special promotion on this adventuring game.
Oh. Oh my god.
Wow.
Get a charm.
The charms are unfortunately sold out.
No.
We were too late.
In any case, yeah. So Core and Akira, you guys had. I mean, the four of you are all going to the museum, but Core and Akira are going in.
Yeah. And I guess the other two are gonna hang back.
I don't actually know what Six is doing. Taylor will be meandering around the vicinity.
Okay. So you'll be basically like around the academia.
Yeah. And Matt, we should probably get up a meeting point too, like beforehand.
Yeah. Plus, actually, I was gonna ask. I think we should find at least one, maybe two places close to the museum, but not in obvious, like. Basically, I'm looking for someplace where I can ritually cast at least my first spell.
You go to a restaurant, just say you need to use the bathroom, and then cast your spell.
Yep, and then leave without buying anything? Core's not that mean.
You just like start casting your spell, and someone knocks near your door. Hey, no spell casting. And there's like a sign up front,
No,
like
no,
ritual
no,
casting in the
no.
restrooms, please.
No. You want to ritually cast something? You buy a drink first.
Yeah. Restrooms and ritual casts for paying customers only.
But But if you buy 3 drinks, we'll include the chalk for free. So, you know.
It's the adventurer bundle.
Oh, but no spells that take over an hour to cast.
Yep, they have a rental limit.
A line of like magic cast like users out there.
It's like you cannot cast what is it, plant growth? No, you're not sitting here for 8 hours casting your dumbass plants.
There are wizards and sorcerers outside waiting in line.
No necromancy spells, no spells that take over an hour to use, no spells with everlasting damage.
There's
No
a laundry
resurrection
list of
spells.
exceptions.
There's some liabilities there that we don't want to deal with.
Oh,
Yep.
illegal, yeah.
This is too
Yeah,
real.
I'll try to find some place that I can sort of casually tuck in to ritually cast detect magic before we go into a museum.
Okay. That might require a little bit of looking around, but yeah. Alright, Seiza. Oh.
Yeah, Seiza, are you coming with us?
Don't see why not. Yeah, sure. How much I can do though.
Okay, you can hang out with Kayla.
Yeah, we're just looking. We'll be looking around.
Okay. Let me grab the maps again. I knew I was forgetting something. Well, just as before, you find yourself in the lobby, and the guy running the place, it's someone different this time, because you know it's been they changed shifts.
Oh, good. It's
Yeah.
not that just the one guy who works
No.
here every single day, all the time.
Nah,
That would suck for him.
it's another guy who's running the place. And yeah, sure enough, you show the pendant, and without any questioning, he lets you through.
Great. Oh, was I able to cast my spell, or do I need to go to the little boy's room?
Oh, right, you gotta do that first. So you want to do your ritual spell, right? And you wanted to find a
Yeah.
space.
I believe I need 10 minutes to literally cast it, right? Because it's one action. I believe
Yeah.
that's right.
You could probably find someplace discreet, or you could just cast it on the spot and try your luck with that.
Yeah, but then I have to burn a space on that. Yeah, you know what? If I'm gonna hopefully be able to sleep after this. The DM might be laughing at me for saying this because maybe he has already decided that's not gonna happen. But hopefully I'll be able to sleep after this. So you know what? I will just right before I go into the museum, I'm just gonna do that thing where I put my face in my elbow like I have to sneeze, and I'm gonna cast detect magic and do like a muffled sneeze noise to try to cover up my casting because there's remote components.
That's when the remainder of the 100 assassins show up.
Ah!
Oh,
Of course they would show up now after I dumped almost all of my combat abilities.
No,
Detection spells.
you're good. All right, your detect spell goes off, and you're good to go. And then you pass on through, and yeah, you're in the lobby with Akira. Party, what do? And I'll
Just
be
me and Akira.
yep, and I'll jump between you two and Taylor and Seiza.
Sure. Well, first off, I'm gonna give it even in the lobby, I think, give it a good look around. See if I can spot anything magical in nature in this room.
In the lobby?
Yes, even in the lobby. Maybe there's magical traps in the lobby. Who knows?
Well, it's fairly evident, but the large figure is definitely magic.
Okay, good to know, as expected.
Yeah. And with detect magic, you can find out the type of magic.
true, but Kel the player is stupid, so I likely will not understand what the reference is. I'll have to Google the schools of magic.
Let's see, what would probably be the most dangerous? Probably maybe conjuration might be the most dangerous for us now. Or not transmutation, but that's not.
Oh thank God, there's a
They could all
Wiki
suck
How
anyway.
article
Yeah.
in the dungeon.
Yeah, aberration would be the easiest because I believe that's most of the like damaging spells.
Evocation. But
Evocation, thank you.
It's not really.
Yeah,
But
evocation.
aberration does.
Yeah, but evocation is like your fireball, shit like that.
If you're exploding something with magic, it's probably an evocation spell.
Yeah, enchantment might also be very dangerous, depending. Yeah.
Look, they could all suck in their own way.
That's fair.
Yeah, illusion probably wouldn't be harmful, too harmful at least, hopefully. Yeah.
There.
What? What? I don't know, look at.
I'd
There
love
are
an
illusion
illusion
spells that
spell
can
where,
do damage.
where there's like, I mean I know, cause hello, right? You know, like there's a hole in the ground, but you make an illusion of the floor over it, so people fall to their
Yep.
death.
Do that.
Illusory death pit.
And by the way, glyph of warding is an abjuration spell. It's not
Oh.
evocation.
Our beloved glyph of warding. I will look around.
necessarily
Anything
expect
magical
that,
in the lobby other than the statue?
Give me.
Oh, and what school?
Well, the the large figure in the middle of the room is definitely made of magic, of which I'm trying to get the exact magic, but it's specifics. Where the heck? I guess technically conjuration.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Conjuration, because that is the summoning creatures, objects are created, most of your like animated sort of spell. So
Interesting.
yeah. So likely that thing comes to life. That is what it tells you.
Or it summons. Kind
I
of
can't
Or it's
give
some-
you Cora
It's you walk in, it's actually a wizard with conjuration magic.
Oh.
fair enough.
So that means if anything comes in enchantment, it's just mortaring.
For reference,
Which
this
means you'll probably pass out.
Oof. For reference, this is a 15-foot tall figure. Just FYI, it's a big statue that emanates conjuration magic.
Yeah, that's your conjuration. Abjuration is mostly like your counter spells, buffing spells, protection spells.
It's
So spell magic like that.
It's the get off my property spells.
Divination will be your detect spells, augury, clairvoyant, hunter's mark, stuff that reveals.
Yep, divination's all about scrying, looking into things, being nosy.
Enchantment is mortaring. Evocation is your fireballs.
Boom.
Illusion, gee, I wonder what that's about.
Yeah, that's
Necromancy, gee, I wonder what that's about.
death.
Yeah. So if you're, what do you call it? Like your finger of death, innovation, blight, contagion, kind of shit.
All the schools of magic.
Yeah. And transmutation is just altering stuff, so your polymorphs, stuff like that.
Taking one thing and making it another.
Yep. That's the gist of it. There you go, boss. Technically a new school of magic, but it's only used exclusively to a single setting. So
We're gonna ignore that.
yeah, I'm ignoring it, so feel free
Yeah.
to ignore it too.
I'm pretty familiar with the schools. It's just the specificity on what you're looking at. Always like is it conjuration? I guess technically it is. But
Yeah, I get you. That's why whenever I know somebody has detect magic, I get that shit ready because like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, they tell me it was literally anything, and I'd be like,
It's a-
"Ooh, fun! I don't know what it does."
I guess to keep things simple, you're able to pretty much determine that this thing is a construct.
Yeah.
Hence the conjuration.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Well, if there's nothing else in here, then we'll power walk to the first room.
There are a few other things. The orchestrion and the orchestrion and the light also have some sort of magics. The light has an evocation magic. Or no, wait, actually, technically, it would be also another conjuration because it's quite similar to like create fire.
Street fight. Hold on, I'll look it up. 2 seconds. Great bonfire is conjuration.
Yeah, so, and then the orchestrion is an abjuration based one.
Okay.
Cora's just like looking at the objects like he's trying to enjoy them as museum pieces and that he's not like studying their magical properties. He's just like, oh,
And
the
Akira's just
design is
dissociating.
beautiful. I'm so glad that we decided, Akira, I'm so glad we decided to come for another pass. I loved our tour guide last time, but I thought we moved a little fast for my taste. I really like to take things in and study
Like,
them.
huh?
You're so right, Akira. You're so right.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's like she's like the fucking dog.
But yeah, aside from that, nothing else really, really like pops out on the floor. So.
I guess we'll go to the next room. The plant hallway is next, if I remember correctly.
Yep, the plant hallway.
The plant. I sit down and cast plant card. No. I can't, but I care about I wrote.
Get this. There we go.
You shouldn't.
I can, because it's one of my spells that is always prepared, but I won't.
As you pass through, the ambient sounds of the hallway and the smells of nature seem to be accentuated by some sort of, once again, conjuration spell. And the plants themselves are actually treated with some kind of magic that's not really too discernible, but you managed to kind of conclude it's to help sustain the life. Just a small mixture of like evocation and conjuration, which is like light and water.
Yeah, Cora just nods his head, of course. They're gonna grow plants in here.
Yeah, it's
magic to help.
similar to the methods kind of used at the tower you worked at. It's they kind of make the they produce their own kind of light and their own sort of what do you call it? Their own sort of water source to create to basically continue life within the building.
Are there any flowers on these plants?
It doesn't seem to be in bloom, so no. There's no flowers.
Does it look like there could be? Like buds?
Yeah, there could be some buds on some of the flowers. If I recall, this was the mixture. Yeah, now I remember. This was the hall with the mixture of like the southern and the northern plants. Specifically, the more northern plants are. They have more budding flowers or buds of flowers.
I'm gonna reach out to one of the buds and cast Druidcraft and make it bloom.
The plant blooms. It grows and it blooms, and it's this very, very large, bright orange plant with huge petals. They're pretty big.
I name it Seymour.
Seymour. I guess it's I guess the closest it would be is akin to like
Big orange flower. That reminds me of like a cow lily.
it's almost like a an orange bird of paradise, actually.
Ooh, nice. I think I got some seeds for this. If you're, do you like it?
I should bring up the plant.
Sure.
Oh, hello, Shadow.
You don't sound sure about that. We'll workshop it. Let's stay focused. We're on the clock.
Oops.
She just shrugged. Like, I don't care about the flowers, but okay, cool.
You should.
She
There we
eats
go.
the flower. I'm kidding.
Oh.
Actually, that would be interesting. What would happen if you did? Oh yeah. I
Oh,
love
bird of
that.
paradise.
That's a bird of paradise.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bird of paradise.
Yeah, we'll keep going.
Alright. Well, as you make your way through, you make your way into the room with the two elven emissaries and their draconic prize. And yeah, there's definitely magic all about. As you kind of scan through, the dragon definitely is loaded with evocation. And the statue to the right, does have a divination magic on it, but it also has a bit of conjuration on it as well.
So detection, creation. Interesting.
And that's all of
As a
the.
note, teleportation spells are conjuration too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Oh.
Interesting. Interesting. I wonder where it would, if it is that, I wonder where it would take you.
Actually, it just summons the dragon.
Fair.
Could just teleport you out. Could teleport you into a jail cell.
Oh no, it's the Final Fantasy XIV jail. To
Yep.
the jail with you.
Get
And the
galled.
left statue?
There is no magic on the
Does that
left
have any
statue.
Oh, which was the one that looked like it had moved? Was that the left one?
Yes. There was an imprint to the side of it. It actually looks like it's it looks like it's a little off. Like when you look at how the statues are lined up, the left one kind of looks like it's a little off because of that.
Does it still look like it's ajar today?
Yep, it's still in its place. It hasn't moved at all.
You know, and we talked about this, right? Taylor thinks there's something behind it? Maybe? And it can move?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to swap detect magic.
Okay.
It's a big spell, but there's like 2 places where I want to try this in the museum, so we might as well do this first one now. I'm gonna pull out my my little blue sunglasses that I bought, my focus sunglasses. These are the glasses I wear when I have to focus. I have to focus.
Corbett at the gunners.
I'm gonna lean into the statue as if I'm like examining it,
Mhm.
and I want to attempt to cast clairvoyance on the wall, like the spot on the wall behind the statue. The way this spell works is I create an invisible sensor within range, which is a mile, but I don't know, the wording on it is weird. And you can put it in you can either put it in a location that is familiar to you or in an obvious location that is unfamiliar to you, like behind a door or around a corner. So I'm basically trying to hedge that there might be like a passage or something behind this statue and wall. So I'm trying to put it there. If there's
You're
nothing
mentally
there,
aiming it like
if
5 feet
there's
ahead of you.
nothing there, then it probably just won't work. But if there is like a passage or something behind it, I'd like to spawn a little sensor that I can see through.
So you're trying to sense if there's some kind of secret passageway behind this statue.
Yeah, I'm basically trying to create something in a passage behind the statue, if there is a passage there. If that makes sense. I want to find out if there's something behind the statue. In the wall.
TLDR, summoning a thing. If there is space, assuming that there is a passageway, then it should appear in the passageway.
Okay.
Like behind the wall.
Yeah.
If there
It's
isn't,
almost like a little
it'll
eyeball
just
that
fail.
goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Like,
it
it
is
should just
invisible, so
Um,
if there's someone there, they won't see it.
Yeah. So the spell fails.
Okay, that's fine. I'll burn it.
Yeah, unfortunately there's no passageway there.
It was I wanted to, we had an idea and I wanted to try it. That's why we're resting after this. I'm willing to burn all my spell slots on any ideas we might have.
That is still an answer. A
It
no
is.
is an answer.
And
we
there's-
need answers right now.
This
We
thing
have a lot of
moves, but
questions.
these things move, but not to open a passage right behind them. Good to know. This is
Yes,
not the
that is-
secret entrance we were looking for.
Nope.
Good to know.
Princesses in another castle.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean over to Akira. Akira, did you see the modeling on this statue? It's really impressive.
Did you disassociate?
I sort of like put my hand
TV white noise.
on the back of Akira's neck and I lean her into the statue so it looks like we're up close to it and like examining it. And I'm like, see, look how beautiful it is. And then I'm just gonna go off for like 1 second and cast detect magic, so it's like a normal conversation, and then it's just like magic bullshit for like 2 seconds, and then normal conversation again.
She's trying so hard.
Anything to hide my weird verbal components of my spellcasting.
Well,
Yeah, so I'll
And the
I'll get
statue
that
that
back
we're
up.
looking at is the non-magical or the magical?
yeah,
one?
it's the non-magical one. The one that looks like it's been moved, but apparently it's not magical. It could be mechanical, maybe, like something
Yeah.
like that.
That's something I would like to look into, just to see how I can discern what this even does.
do you want to
Or
do a perception on the statue, Akira?
Yeah, sure. That'll be great for everyone.
Go for it.
Okay, Akira, how disassociated are you?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's about right.
What'd you get?
An 8.
An 8.
An 8.
You're not able to really glean much from it, Akira. However, you kind of just sort of bump along the statue as you're kind of looking over it. The one thing that you do kind of note is that while the statue's sitting firmly on the pedestal kind of sits funny on the floor. And it almost feels like it's kind of been nudged, like you almost kind of nudge it, like kind of like when a kind of like when a table has its is got one foot that's not quite lined up with the others.
Yeah.
It's kind of got that slight wobble.
Wobbly table. I know. Get it. I'm kidding.
Yeah, Core will mark this down as an unsolved mystery for the other group when they come through.
I want to test the floor, but I don't know how you would even do that.
Me neither. Other than
I don't know how she would do it either.
stomping your
Besides
foot.
just obviously tapping the floor.
I mean, Akira would never think of this, but you couldn't just pretend to have a mini tantrum like, Core, this is boring. I want to go to the next room.
Yeah,
Stop.
she wouldn't.
And Core is too focused on magical bullshit right now, so.
Yeah.
We keep moving.
Yeah. At most, she would actually tap the floor, like tap.
I'm sorry, Akira. I know I'm taking a long time on this. I'm just really so interested in the history of Broznov. It's so fascinating.
I don't get it.
Well, I'll give this one to you. We'll a little dice on this one, but you kind of notice, Akira, as you're kind of stamping a little bit, that the floor that's closer to where the dragon's head is on the other side, not the side where the magical statue is, but the side of the non-magical one, you do kind of feel as you're stamping on the ground that there's an unevenness on some parts of the floor.
Yeah. It's like the clairvoyance was supposed to be for down.
Oh no, that's a 3rd level spell.
That's okay. We got information from that.
Okay.
I don't know how Akira would tell you because she'd probably just be like, I don't know. Honestly, she'd probably tell you after you leave.
Yeah, you can tell us
Yeah.
later, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there is at least one other spot that I know for sure I need to test with that same technique. Yeah, we'll
I
keep
imagine
moving.
that just it just looks like Akira comically just almost chasing her tail around the statue, just stopping the floor.
Oh God.
Almost like a kid with a tantrum, but just more like a kid that's bored.
Endearing.
A bored child.
For the sake of my
7-foot
companion,
child.
we'll move forward.
I'm guessing you're moving to the telescope room, or are you just moving along to the next part of the next hallway?
Yeah, we'll just move forward, keeping an eye out with detect magic.
Okay, and that's to the telescope rooms or room or.
I believe that's the next room forward, right?
Kind of. It's like you either, because the main room is with the dragon, and then you can either go forward or you can take a stop to the council room.
Oh,
It's
right. Well,
the
we should stop in the room with the dwarves. Yeah, with the dwarves, right?
yeah. That's that'll
we'll
be
stop
the,
in with the telescope, right? Yeah.
yep. It's the 4 dwarven leaders arguing with each other around a telescope, and everything is as it was last time.
But this time, do they glow?
Well, each of the dwarves have some manner of evocation on them. However, the telescope has illusion glowing on it.
Oh, because it shows the Broznov. Yeah,
That makes sense.
that checks out. The dwarves, however, that
The dwarves
That is
have what?
interesting.
Did you say evocation?
yeah,
Evocation.
you said evocation.
Evocation.
So yeah. So it's powerful area effect spells like fireball, lightning bolt,
Basically,
chromatic orb,
pain.
magic missile, but
What if
also can be cure wounds and
Yeah,
heal.
what if it just casts healing word on us, guys? Don't worry about it.
I'm
It's
sure that's
certainly
exactly what it'll do.
it's certainly not like a meteor sword.
Mhm.
It's definitely healing word.
That just is interesting. What would be the trigger for that, and why do they have that? And I'm okay with not finding out.
Oh, you want to know what the trigger is?
No, I don't.
You don't. What if we said
You know
no?
what? Fair enough. You know what? Fair enough. how to trigger it without triggering it.
I mean, I can find out. Are you curious?
It might be
Do you
nice
want
to
to
know
know?
just in case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Well,
it just seems so random.
Yes, okay. I will drop Detect Magic. You're gonna hear me say that a lot today. I will drop Detect Magic. End my concentration on that spell. I will cast 2nd level Find Traps. You sense the presence of any trap within range, which is 120 feet, that is within line of sight. A trap for the purpose of this spell includes anything that would inflict a sudden or unexpected effect you consider harmful or undesirable, which was specifically intended as such by the creator.
Sorry, what's up?
I'm casting Find Traps.
Find traps. Oh, it's definitely trapped.
Yeah, but what is the trap?
Um.
Oh no, never mind. You're wrong. It just reveals that a trap is present. That was dumb. I shouldn't have cast that spell. We know that the trap is present.
Did you wanna?
Well, I mean,
Did you wanna
good to know
rescind that then?
That it's trapped and not like.
Oh, okay, but you do learn the general nature of the trap, of the danger posed to you by the trap that you sense.
Okay. Do you want to commit to that then?
Yes, I will. I want to know what the general nature of this trap is. Are we gonna get fire gold? Is it ice storm? Is it ice? I don't know. What will happen to us if we set this trap off in a general sense?
It's so random to try to even trigger it. I'm sure there's a trigger for it.
I mean,
It might not be quote-unquote engaged until the place closes.
Yeah.
Or else that one hallway would have been very interesting all through.
Yeah.
Accidentally steps on it.
There is that little detail that was mentioned to you that the staff does not come around. Like the staff vacates the area at night. Like there is
not
no
allowed
guard.
to
There
be
is no
here
guard
at
at
night.
night. Yep.
Who's the Five Nights at Freddy's security guard for this museum?
The museum is that guard.
Yep. Let me tell you, that guy, the FNAF guard, would not make it past the doors.
Oh no!
That bro would have been just blown away.
Oh boy, the first shift, I can't wait. Explode.
Well, to put it simply, I guess you would know the. So what is it? What was the descriptor of the spell? You know the nature of the trap, or?
You know the nature of the trap. Yeah. So the sphere merely reveals that a trap is present. You don't learn the location of each trap, but you do learn the general nature of the danger posed by a trap you sense. And it specifically talks about the creator's intent for the trap. So like, if it was just like an accidental trap, it wouldn't set it off, but this seems intentional. So I think the idea is you sort of get like the intention of the creation of the trap and sort of what would happen vaguely if the trap went off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you, not for this, it'd be like using it and you learn that. Oh, yeah, I think.
I guess
you get it.
I think I understand. I mean, the nature of this trap is, well, it's a puzzle trap, and it's only set off if, it's only set off under two conditions, and one of them is, obviously when the museum is closed. The other condition is anyone attempting to disarm the trap. The trap seems to be is protecting something, and attempting to disarm or attempting to solve whatever is in here incorrectly will result in setting off the trap, essentially.
Ah, I see.
And
so it's a trap that if you solve the puzzle incorrectly, it sets off the trap.
Yep. If you do the puzzle wrong, it'll set it off.
But if you do the puzzle right, it won't set it off?
Yes.
Interesting.
It seems to be protecting
Ooh.
some kind of something here.
Interesting.
Which is to say, that's the puzzle.
Yeah, meaning that somebody is expected to be able to get through it.
Yep.
Kind of like a really fancy lock. I hope this guy doesn't forget his password.
Damn.
I'll
Getting
play
locked out of your count? Nah, fireball.
Fireball. Oops, I accidentally capitalized the ah. Alright, well, good to know.
Also, the nature of this spell uses fire, cold, lightning, acid, and poison.
Oh, so everything.
Yep.
So don't activate it. I don't know what the puzzle is, and a cure
Just-
definitely wouldn't know.
Just don't get it wrong.
Just don't get it wrong. As if
Yeah.
it's probably really hard. Alright, well, let's back slowly out of this room.
Alrighty.
I will, burn my first level spell slot to cast Detect Magic again. How do I want to fake it this time? Oh, I'll pull out a brochure out of my bag and pretend that I'm reading it very closely. Cover my face with it and cast Detect Magic.
So, oh, darn, I did it again. Here we go. So as you make your way to the long hallway with the ambience of battle, which is conjuration, there is a dizzying, and I mean it's actually like physically difficult to like focus or concentrate in this hallway, as there is a lot of there's a lot of spells in this hallway.
Oh yeah, this is what the weapons hallway, right? The war
Yep.
paintings that attack you hallway. Yeah.
The war hallway. There, you've got, in addition to the conjuration magic that's causing once again the same ambience as the plant hallway, you have evocation, necromancy, abjuration, divination, all littering the entire hallway.
I see. Goodness gracious, that's a lot of magic. This is a bullshit hallway. We should avoid it if we can avoid this hallway. I'm just saying, guys. I don't want to go here at night. Please.
I mean,
The plan.
what we gonna do?
Yep. So yeah,
We'll scroll through.
it's
Try to take note of everything.
it's
Again, we've determined we don't want to be over here.
yeah, it's there's so much so that it's actually very difficult to note everything in the specifics.
I'm sure it just
But-
looks like I'm walking through like a giant lit up room. Everything is pinging, so it's too
Yeah.
much pinging.
It's very dizzying. But you do know that there's just you're able to pick out the specifics, like, oh, there's a lot of like conjuration, evocation, divination, abjuration, like point for point. How where and how many is a little hard to determine though. But yeah, this is definitely the most dangerous room so far.
Ooh. Wow, isn't this incredible? Akira, I put my hand on her arm because I'm getting a little dizzy.
She just looks so
I'm
sweet.
sorry, history just really gets me, you know? It's so beautiful and dramatic and heartbreaking and It's
Just
really the
looks at you
story
and
of
just goes-
human suffering and the human condition. It's a lot.
I don't get it.
That's deep. That's so deep.
Dang.
You're right.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Do any of us really get it? It's impossible to understand. You're so right. Let's keep going.
Okay.
I'll
Alright.
keep going before I pass out.
You
So much right.
you manage to come to your senses, and you get to the other art piece of the two dragons, the Broznov and the Valvadiri dragon. This room is well, compared to the last room, a breath of freaking fresh air, for sure. As you are only able to sense, there's not a lot of it, but there is still some evocation, for sure, from the Valvadiri dragon, which seems to have some like mechanisms
Fireball.
that were holding up fireball.
Which kind of magic was that? Abjuration?
Evocation.
Invocation.
Yeah.
Invocation, right.
Evoking death.
Oh, rude.
Very. But the other dragon seems to have divination. Some sort of divination. So the one on top has divination, the one at the other side has evocation. And throughout the hall there seems to be some kind of abjuration spell.
Interesting. Is it like along that like river thing that was splitting them? There was something that was dividing them, right? Like,
Yep, there was following down from one dragon to the other is a red river.
Oh, right. Does the magic seem to follow that river?
It covers the entire room.
Oh. A whole in abjuration magic.
But it's just one abjuration spell.
Just one. Just a single spell, guy. No worries, right? I wonder what that could be. That's big. The whole room? Interesting. Abjuration.
Duration.
Don't worry, it's just a giant counter spell. I'm trying to think what it
Yeah,
could
counter
be.
spells to fireball it spits out.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, definitely what it does. Mhm.
It's the spell suppressing the dragons.
That's so interesting. I think that a room-wide abjuration magic is interesting.
Probably a giant silence spell, I'm assuming.
But that would not.
Well, for us, not for the dragon.
I mean, to be
Actually,
fair,
technically,
Wouldn't that like?
a silence spell wouldn't affect the dragons because they're not speaking the spell, they're just...
Oh wait, I
Yeah,
have the
that's
heads
not
reversed.
real-
That's right. The Valvadiri one has guns.
oh, true. I was
And-
gonna say, yeah. Wait
Yeah,
a minute.
that one has the divination spell. The other one has the conjuration
Oh, okay.
spell. So the Broznov dragon has freaking fireballs. I forgot I had them
Oh,
reversed.
right, yeah, because they were cheeky about it, and they're like,
Yep.
it's the other way around.
It's
the
a-
Valvadiri dragon that has all the guns.
It's an artistic statement to the world.
It's about the futility of life.
No one will notice unless they actually pay attention to these.
Poor noticed.
Why
and
is
he-
a Valvadiri one equipped with so many guns?
Poor noticed, and he barely knows the history. So
Person getting shot would notice.
that's true.
Yep.
It's true. They would.
They'll get shot and they'll be like,
I mean,
oh,
they
the
know it's
irony.
getting Shot at least.
The irony.
Wait, but silence is not abjuration.
Fair.
It's illusion. Which is weird.
Yeah, that is weird. I guess it tricks you into thinking you can't cast spells.
Well, silence is just. It's not that kind of silence. It's
Yeah,
it's literal silence.
muffled
Like,
sound.
Yeah,
there's
it's
no
literal
sound in there.
silence. It's like there is no noise happening in this zone.
I'm curious what it could
Yeah,
be.
it's
Maybe
just
it would be funny for the counter spell. Like you try to throw a spell at it, and it's just like, all right,
Nope.
Counters.
I mean,
Well,
for
Mm.
Would
theory
that
crafting.
work?
It could.
It could be but see, it could be glyph of warding, right? But a glyph
Glyph
of
of
warding
warding
is like is not the whole room, right?
No. Also, it could be something other than a spell. It's not. There's nothing in the rules that says it has to be a specific spell. It could just be
Magical
a
effect.
magical effect that is
Yeah.
abjuration.
Fair.
fair enough.
To keep in mind.
Oh, yeah.
It is not that it's bad thinking, but without knowing specifically, it's hard to say.
No idea.
So,
Right.
alarm. Alarm is abjuration.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, alarm. Could be just.
I
a
would also
giant-
be alarmed if there was a gun pointing and shooting at me with a fireball next to it.
could just be
So-
a giant alarm spell. Yeah.
Fair enough.
It is tempting to try to take care of stuff. I can do dispel magic, so it is tempting to try to pick something while I'm in here and get rid of it, but I mean,
You might also be caught.
yeah,
It might trigger something.
Yeah.
Or we don't.
Yeah.
probably will save that.
We know
for
don't
when
do
we
it
are
to the
actually
trap.
in here, and there's no one else in here. I guess the benefit of knowing that staff can't come in here is that we know that, technically speaking, we'll probably be on our own for the whole night,
Yeah.
Maybe
other
with
than
something.
our rivals. Well,
Yeah.
we know that we're not going to be
We'll be
having to
alone.
worry about killing staff.
If
Yeah.
we explode, we'll be found in the morning, not at night.
Yeah, yippee.
And it won't be our
Sorry.
problem anymore.
Hooray! We'll be free from this. Oh, loophole. We just died.
Wait, no.
I don't think I like this.
Loophole! We just
Just saying.
died. If
The
I-
lead revivifying.
The delayed revivify. I
Mm.
don't have that. I don't have a. Oh, here's what we do. I'm gonna put a glyph of warding on the ground with revivify, set to go off in 58 seconds after, and then I'm gonna die and do revivify.
Oh no.
But
Very extra.
nah, I'll make note of this theory craft with everyone later. We'll keep going. I believe we're getting close to the end, aren't we?
Yep. Well, you move on to the next room with the two statues. And, yep, there is conjuration magic from both.
Conjuration. Okay. More constructs, maybe? Mayhaps? I'm almost less scared of these conjuration magic ones than the ones where we're like, what is this? We have no idea what this is.
Hmm.
And this is the room right before the weird move. Wait, the sidewalk, right?
Well, that's the last hallway.
Yeah. What do I have in my bag? Okay, basically, I want an excuse to have to loop all the way back through the museum again, and the moving sidewalk only goes one way, if I remember correctly. There's no,
Yep.
like, way to go back through that hallway. So while we're in this last room, I'm gonna pull out my sketchbook and start sketching something, and I'm gonna accidentally, in quotation marks, drop some of my pencils on the ground.
So you're gonna head on back to the other room? Or... Sorry, which room were
Basically,
you?
we're in the room with the two. We're in the room with the two statues, right? The
Oh,
one right before the exit hallway, and I'm gonna accidentally leave some stuff here so that I have an excuse to go all the way back through the museum without looking like a weirdo who's doing a second pass on the museum.
Alright. You leave some stuff with the two statues, and then you make your way to the next room.
Yeah, to the moving sidewalk.
Okay. Let me get to. Well, there's one more room before the moving sidewalk.
That's okay. I'll leave my stuff in that other room. I just have an extra excuse to go through all the rooms carefully.
Yeah, because one last room, which is the what do you call it? It's the statue of the dwarf, the human, and the elf, all celebrating, and then the small diorama of old Broznov, or early Broznov, I should say. Because technically, old Broznov was Old Kingdom.
Okay, so what do these statues glow, or are they just statues? Wouldn't that be amazing in this museum?
They are just normal statues. There's no magic on them.
Hooray!
Yippee! Normal statue!
Normal statue! Corey's just
Oh
like,
my
wow.
god!
Yeah, you detect
It's so
zero magic spells from these
beautiful.
statues.
Yippee!
It's a miracle.
Yep,
They haven't gotten around to enchanting these ones, I guess.
this is the least loaded room when it comes to magic.
Oh, but that actually... Maybe I'm paranoid, but that actually scares me a little bit. Why does this room has no... Oh yeah, why does this room have no magic?
Maybe there's nothing in it. Really?
Perhaps the traps here
Maybe it's
aren't
all
magical.
mechanical.
Oh no. Crossbows in the wall.
We did determine that the statues have they're segmented in some manner.
True. Some of these statues have segments in their body, which kind of implies that they can move certain parts.
We didn't see any obvious traps in this room when we first passed through. Just the statues having weird things. Let me check my notes. Oh, is this one that has this? No, not sure. Oh right, the dwarf with the chalice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I still actually have a couple spell slots left, so I will drop detect magic. Here we go again. I'm gonna cast find traps because I just want to see if there are traps in this room at all.
There are traps in this room.
Okay. Good to know. What are their nature, sort of vaguely? Are they like... They must be mechanical.
They are mechanical traps. And they are also kind of in the same sense. They are intended to be used that it's essentially kind of like the telescope, where it's they are set off again if they're set off under the two conditions that you are in here when you're not supposed to be, and if you intend to manipulate things here incorrectly.
Okay, so there's a way to manipulate things that is correct then.
Yeah.
That wouldn't set off the traps. Though if it's triggered just by being here when you're not supposed to, then that's a bit of a problem.
Wouldn't matter.
Well, I guess that does imply that there's a way to, like, not disable, but, like, appease the traps when they go off. There's a puzzle element.
Yay, more puzzles.
Hooray! Thank God we have Kayla. She's so smart.
This man has two-factor.
This man has two-factor, get him!
Get him! Steal his phone! But yeah, I guess we'll approach the, I'm not gonna recast Detect Magic because that's something else I want to cast. But
Okay.
let's approach the moving sidewalk. Before we get on the moving sidewalk, Well, I don't know. I dropped it. Is it magic, Akira? Do you think?
I don't know.
I think it might be. Though, actually, I mean, considering the technology of Broznov, they could probably do a rudimentary mechanical moving sidewalk. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. I'm sure they could do it. But actually, if I remember correctly, in this hallway, there's a statue along the moving sidewalk? Along the moving sidewalk, there's a statue, isn't there?
Yes.
And I think last time we noticed that there looked like there could be something behind it. Like there was like a seam in the wall. Yeah. Taylor can see a bit of a seam in the wall behind the statue. So I'm gonna try my clairvoyance trick again. Maybe I'll go... Yeah, I'll try the clairvoyance trick again before I get on the moving sidewalk. I'm going to try to summon a sensor behind the wall behind the statue. To see if there is...
With the moving sidewalk?
Yeah, so like there's the statue on the moving sidewalk. That's the...
You don't have to...
the spear guy?
Yeah, he's the spear soldier.
Yeah,
We're feeling like it's like a secret door or something, so we're just trying to confirm that. If it is a door, then it should be able to be placed on the other side.
yeah.
Okay.
And if that, the spell will fail.
Give me 2 seconds. There we go. So I put it in the chat, but you do notice that there is in fact a hallway behind the statue.
Yes, Taylor, we're cooking. We did it. We got it.
In this hallway, there seems to be some sort of pit at the end, or some kind of shaft, I guess, that drops straight down. I don't know how far your eye can really see, but that's what you basically see. There is in fact just a secret room.
I'm gonna assume that it can basically see as far as I could see. It doesn't have like magical vision that it gives you. You don't get to see like everything within the range. So I assume it's just like, if I was standing there, what could I see?
Yeah. No, it would be, yeah, from the other side of the statue, it's, yeah, there's just a hole in the ground. It's
As
just
an action, I can switch between seeing and hearing. So like right now, you just imagine Horace just sort of standing like daisy-eyed, holding onto Akira's arm as he like stares off into nothingness. I'm gonna switch it so I can hear. Do I hear any noises from this area? Like, what does it sound like in this hallway?
It's pretty quiet. There's nothing active going on. But you can hear sort of the quiet whirs and hums of like basically mechanical parts moving, but it seems to kind of imply it's in the walls behind you, or like in the walls around you. So yeah, so there is in fact there's a secret entrance. Or, I guess, a secret hole in the ground.
We do not know. But that is good to know. Good to know. Okay, there's one more spell, and well, you don't have to take us through in such detail this time, but the reason I want to do one more loop is I would like to cast Locate Object as we get onto the moving platform, and I would like to sort of do a loop through the museum one more time. Is that up? He's gonna have Core look like he's trying to find his misplaced pencils. Like he gets to the lobby and he's like, "Oh, my pencils! They fell out of my bag. I have to find them."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna cast Locate Object. I'm looking for the crown because
Oh.
I'm familiar with this object. We've seen it.
Can I get the
Before.
specifics on that spell?
Yes. Describe or name an object that is familiar to you, the crown. You sense the direction to the object's location as long as that object is within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movement. The spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you have seen it up close within 30 feet at least once. Alternatively, it can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, but that part doesn't matter because I know the object.
It's very
The spell
one of a kind.
The spell can't locate an object if any thickness of lead, even a thin sheet, blocks a direct path between you and the object. So if it's in a metal box, a lead box. Any other metal may be fine, but a lead box I can't see through. But if
Okay.
it's just like, I think if it's just like stone or wood, I could sense it still.
Stone, dirt,
If
earth.
that's specified, then
Yeah.
it would be fine.
Yeah. It's just lead.
All right. As you kind of pace around the museum,
Helps it's 0.2 miles.
it's 0.2 miles. Jesus. It
It's less helpful, I think.
You find yourself.
333 yards?
We'll measure by cules. No, it's the shortest distance you're able to kind of figure out. It's actually beneath the large statue in the lobby, but about 50 feet down.
Interesting. That is really good to me. Now we're cooking.
Yep.
Now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking.
Yep.
50
So-
feet down.
It's about
What
50
is-
feet down
Ooh.
from the lobby.
50 feet down. I have one more third level spell slot. Should we try it? Gamers,
If you want.
should we try it? Should we
Eat
try
a-
it?
Eat a magic eyeball down
Yeah.
50 feet, see what you can see.
See, that's the thing about this clairvoyant spell that I don't understand. It has a range of 1 mile, and it doesn't specify what the range for putting the sensor is. It just says within range, but
Within 1
What?
mile.
1 mile is
I
a
presume
huge
it'd
range.
Yeah, that's the range.
Crazy. Well,
Mhm.
You can't move the sensor. It's just like, alright, here you go.
You just
if
said
the
it.
game will allow it, I'm gonna go into that room with the statue and start like being like, Akira, have you seen my pencils? I know I dropped them somewhere during our walkthrough. Oh, do you think maybe they rolled behind this statue? And I'm gonna get down on the ground, and yes, I'm gonna do my best to guesstimate with that locate object spell. I'll send my little
Actually gonna look
invisible
for
eyeball.
pencils.
Oh well. If I'm sensing it 50 feet down, we probably don't want to send the eyeball 50 feet down because it would just end up like, yeah. So let's do 40 feet. You think? How high do you think the ceiling is?
I don't know.
Like
I mean-
45 just to be safe.
Yeah,
Like,
just to be
see
safe.
it,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 45. I'm gonna send it 45 feet down in that room
Roughly
where I'm
on top
sensing
of
it
it.
below us. Yeah, roughly on top of it. To try to look. Yeah. Or in my last third level spell slot.
Alrighty.
So
Into the room.
it's a good use of your spell stuff.
It was.
We're
Yeah.
getting.
I'm glad that I had the foresight to buy the focus I need for this spell like last year.
Mm. Okay. Give me 2 seconds.
Turns out clerics are great for heists. Just the prep phase.
It's the prep phase.
There you go.
I mean, trickery is one of their domains.
True?
Holy God.
Wow.
Holy
uh,
god. It's correct.
What are those?
Yep.
What are those?
Inside, well, as you gaze through the sensor eye, You kind of notice. You find the sensor is just about 5 feet above the crown. So to the 5 feet below you, the crown sits atop what appears to be just a huge mound of gold, and in front or behind that mound of gold appears to be this detailed, very interesting looking, very, very like engraved into the walls, this dragon like statue. It appears to be this big red dragon, with fierce looking eyes and a very, very hungering mouth. Surrounding the room are in several alcoves are what appear to be Broznov soldiers and warriors, and like just very well decorated like fighters. The entire room is very dark, save for a few dimly lit braziers, some sconces. There on the sconces, there's dimly lit torches. This appears less of like a dungeon, but it still has the appearance of like a dungeon, but it appears to be more like, I don't know how to best put it. It looks like it's meant to look like a dungeon, not actually be one, if that makes sense.
I see.
It's the room is dressed up to be.
It's a museum replica of a dungeon.
Yeah. And sitting atop this huge, presumably this red dragon's hoard, is the crown. Sitting and like glinting softly in the torchlight. You can't see much past the torchlights, but it appears that the floors themselves are decorated in these very pristine. It's a rather decorated, pristine floor with these round pillar-like pieces, sort of decorating like steps. The backgrounds kind of appear to be this like rocky, ruinous outcrop, and it almost looks like a desolated, blasted land. There's various murals of soldiers who are like not quite dying, but definitely not having a good time under duress, in this sort of like blasted landscape. And yeah.
The dragon. Broznov and their dragon problem. Interesting. Very good to know. So it is indeed down.
Yep.
We just need to figure out how to get to it.
You do see a door, by the way. That's the last detail. There is a door on the opposite
we have
side.
a destination.
Yeah, there is a door.
So there is a doorway that leads into this room.
Interesting.
We have our point B, we just need to find point A and figure out how to get there.
I mean,
See a hole.
we did see a shaft that goes down.
Yeah.
So that can't be. I mean, maybe they're intending to put an elevator in there? I don't know. That seems like a really weird place for the entrance of the exhibit, though.
I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense for probably where the non-mechanical stuff is. There might be a staircase down, and it makes sense layout-wise. That's where it would be.
Okay. If this guy is a beholder, he doesn't need stairs. He can
That's
just fly up.
That's true,
But
but
It's an exhibit,
it's supposed
so
to be an exhibit, right?
yeah.
So there's got to be a way down for normal people.
but it's also not done yet.
That's
so-
true. Though apparently done enough that they're going to do a tour soon. So
That's true. And they're not gonna expect people to fly down.
yeah, that would be a
Here, I'm
little
gonna cast
weird.
fly on you before we're featherfall.
Don't worry about it.
Featherfall.
Oh my god. Can you imagine going to the museum being like, just jump, I'll cast Featherfall on you?
You're going to experience some sickness, but that's okay. You're not gonna die.
But yeah, we'll finish our loop through. Be like, oh darn, my pencils aren't here. I'll get my pencils because that would be awkward to leave them behind. I want them back.
Well,
We'll get our punches, and I think that will end our trip for today, unless Akira has anything.
Nope, I'm good.
The way I have a single spell slot left.
Go sleep, girl.
well, you finish out your tour and you collect quite a bit of information. And you found where the crown is.
We did it.
Nice.
Love a cheeky divination spell. Let's go. I think Cora will be smart. He's not an expert in criminal activities, but I'm sure Taylor would have coached him on this. Before we go to our meetup point, we'll take a little stroll around a couple of blocks first.
Just make sure you lose them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, we're gonna wind back the clock a little bit.
No. We go back.
Taylor, Seiza, you are outside the alleyway into the that leads into the area where the museum is at. What do you do?
So we're supposed to the area outside.
Mm-hmm.
I will. Yes. I mean, what Taylor would like to do is to do a circuit, like a full circuit around the museum, just to kind of get the lay of things better, and to be on the lookout for anyone else being on the lookout, essentially. And depending on how that goes, afterwards she will find a place to camp out. It's like, see if she can find some, as I said before, some kind of restaurant or cafe or something that, it'd be reasonable to just spend an hour or two just chilling there, watch things.
Okay. Well, you do know that
Long term, I'm definitely on the lookout specifically for anyone that kind of looks shifty, and like the people that we know are after this crown as well. We know what they look like, more or less. So if we see any construction worker looking dudes around,
any construction worker fellas definitely might be suspect. You do know that the thing itself, it's in a so in order to get to the museum you have to pass through an alleyway, which is there is no other way in or out, essentially. So it's like there's just one small tucked away alleyway. You go in there and there's the museum. There's no real other way to get around because the other big all the other campus buildings kind of just sort of clump it and sandwich it in the area.
okay. I guess that is.
But yeah. So
I think I'd still like to give a look around, like
no
the area
worries.
that I can at least.
Yeah, you can look around the area that leads into that alleyway at least, for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Pretty much.
and-
Whatever I need to do to do that.
yeah. For that, you could definitely make, I would say, a perception check to try and get an idea of how the layout would look. To see if there's any potential gaps.
Natural 20 for 28.
Wow. Nice.
Good start. I see so much.
You see everything.
Everything.
You're able to
You
get.
don't even need divination.
You're able to get a pretty
Guess I might
good
need it for some
idea.
things.
of the whole layout. Overall, there's not too many side side passages that you aren't aware of at this point. And it's not like there's not too many ways to get in without being noticed, to really put it. And for the most part, there's only really three passageways that leads into the alley, essentially. And like 2 of them, basically you have to pass through a whole campus. So it's
Interesting.
and the other way is kind of like some back roads, but that's still gonna bring you in, like passing near the college, but kind of out of sight. And that's kind of the way you guys have been, or actually no, that's not been the way you guys have been going. But that's another way you guys could use, in case you want to go in without being noticed.
Ideally, yes. That is definitely a good path to take note of.
I assume we can't dishonor this by just going in over the roofs.
You could definitely try
The
and
best way to play that game, you just stay on the roof.
you could definitely go from the rooftops, but these are pretty tall buildings, so it's
And we have one clumsy cleric. So,
yeah. It's not to say that it's not a bad idea. It's just like you will have to climb up and then climb down.
A long way down.
Oh. And I have disadvantage on stealth checks.
But that extra passageway is definitely not it's definitely not easy to notice, so no one will really catch on to you if you pass your way through there.
Like good to know.
One of the important things.
Now, as for the shop, there is a little cafe, but it's pretty... yeah, I'd say it's about across the way. But it's not
There's
too
there's
close.
some place I could reasonably have a stakeout at. I just need to have a place to people watch from.
Okay, well,
Right.
there's definitely one that's not too far away. It's not not close by to the museum, but it's like close-ish. It's close enough.
That's fine. I don't need to, for this, I don't necessarily need to be within visual range of the museum. Oh, it worked.
Okay. Well,
On the lookout for suspicious folk, and especially, see if our rivals are being smart about this. Who
Oh,
knows
I
if
hope
they
they're
actually
not.
will.
I hope they're being so stupid.
roll
I
perception.
don't know if Taylor is wanting them to be smart or not. It's like, okay, are they are they taking this like seriously? Or they're really just gonna
Fuck
keep
it.
themselves
Oh,
in?
dude, yeah.
Oh, 26.
26?
Whoa.
Hot damn. Seiza, I'm guessing you're coming along as well, and just kind of helping out? Or...
I think we need to be a little
yeah.
bit more discreet. Caesar will actually do something else during this time, but
Okay.
resolve
Go
this
for it.
one.
We'll do this, and then I'll move on to you in a little bit then.
Taylor can work on her own.
I was gonna say, you could be Taylor's date. Come on. Hold hands.
No, we don't want to stand out. We're too pretty.
Oh,
So-
you're right. Oh god. Yeah, everyone will be walking by like, who are those beautiful? Oh no, they're taken. Damn it.
Bringing too much attention to ourselves.
Maybe cover.
Well, you what do you call it? So you park up at this cafe. You've got kind of a nice view of everything. You can see like the various campuses around the academia. You see a lot of the scholars. Nothing really comes out of the ordinary. For the length of time you're just kind of sitting, you're watching, there's scholars, there's students, there's, every now and again the occasional Tetsu guard who does not look like at any, they just, you would almost mistake them for not being a Tetsu guard, given the much more relaxed composure these guys have. Because, again, academia is one of the nicer parts of Broznov, so the guards here aren't really on edge like they are in other parts of Broznov.
They're not expecting trouble.
Yeah, they don't really
Well, that's good
expect
for
much
us.
trouble.
Yeah.
These guys are
It's good for us.
these guys are less like they're less like brutal, like super tough like cops, and they're more like rent-a-cops. They're like security
That's
guards,
good.
or mall cops. They're,
It also means if things go slightly wrong, we might be able to lie and convince them that we're just lost or something, they're not expecting trouble.
We're just citizens.
yeah.
Come on.
In fact, they're not even as heavily armed or armored here. Like, most of the Tetsu Guard have, like, their full kit with them, which usually is, they usually carry their very hefty firearm, and they'll carry their swords on them. And they'll usually have some sort of plate protection over their robes. That's usually there for them. Here, it's like, every now and again you'll see a Tetsu guard, and he might he'll have his katana, and that's really it.
Damn, a whole katana.
Yeah, they carry the Tetsu guard carry katanas. They got katanas and submachine guns on them. But these guys don't even have their guns on them. Most of them. Like, you'll maybe see a guy with a submachine gun walking around.
He just likes the gun.
Yep. So they have to have at least one guy with it. So.
No, he's just power tripping. All his
He doesn't have
coworkers are like, why do you insist on carrying that around? He's like, I like it, okay?
Taylor, make a knowledge local
History?
or history. Yeah, make a history check with advantage, given
When I'm
the.
like, I've never
always
even
forget.
heard of that check before.
I always think knowledge local exists
Pathfinder.
in this game. Yeah, it's Pathfinder that I'm thinking. Knowledge local is all like, it's your, yeah.
I'll
But
take an 18.
take an 18. Okay. You typically know, given how that you kind of have worked in more illicit related work, you kind of get you have a general idea of how the Tetsu Guard kind of operate. And if you were to wager, typically Tetsu Guard will work in. They usually work in teams. They never work. You never run into just one. There's always a bunch of them, and which is to say, the rest of if you run into one, he's not going to be alone, and the other guys are going to be close by. However, given the scarcity of these dudes, you're willing to wager that this entire area has like maybe 1 or 2 squads, which is to say like maybe 8 Tetsu Guard covering this entire like district tops, which is very, very little.
Alright.
Yeah. There's not a lot of them. And part of what surmises this is the fact that you only really see one guy that's armed with a gun. Because, as you always know, as you kind of learned, there's always at least one Tetsu guard who's actually armed with one. Like, he has to be armed with one. And, you've only seen two guys walking around. Two different guys with submachine guns. Which is to say, that's,
So those are like the higher ranked ones, like the leader of the squads.
It's a
Not
group,
necessarily.
it's a
I don't-
group composition
I don't know how their
thing.
hierarchy works. It
Mm-hmm.
could just be a gunner.
Yeah.
But if there has to be one gunner in each group, then that implies, only two little squads.
Yep,
around.
there's only 2 squads of them. Because they usually come in 4s. And you've seen 2 gunners, and given the relaxed stance, you're basically guessing on math. There could be more, but as far as things are, it's a very good, like, it's a very fair, educated guess. Oh, hydrate. I gotta hydrate real quick.
Everybody has on water. I cast create water. I'm out of spell slots.
The assassins attack.
Oh,
Oh,
you don't hydrate. That's when they come.
Yep.
It's fine. I was dying on spell slots at the end of our last assassin fight anyways.
Pain. But yeah. In any case, if that's like your safest guess. Like, at minimum, there's 8 Tetsu guard covering this entire district right now. But
good to know.
that's not to say that they can't get more in a pinch.
Sure. Let's just make sure we're. At this point, I'm less worried about us, and I'm more worried about what the other crew might do to cause
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah.
I don't want to get dragged into any of their bullshit.
Yeah.
We don't want that. No plan survives contact with the enemy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just
That's why I
in
need a nap.
case that- yeah.
Yeah. So that's
I need
pretty
to
much.
decide which spells I want.
Yeah.
Good boy.
I don't see any Sugoku gang. I don't see anyone that kind of.
Nobody really
Like
fits
that,
the
right?
bill so far. So
Alright.
presumably they've just either not shown up or they may have scoped the place sometime before you guys turned up.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Napping now.
It might be. They might be sleeping,
Possibly.
yeah. Seiza, you said you were doing something else, yeah?
It's just largely the same. I want to maybe like check the area to see like what routes we can take to get out of the area. Without, like,
I mean, if you guys find that back street one, maybe just go down as far as you can on it and see, like, you
but I
know.
don't want to end up in like a market district or something.
That's
We need
true.
to find like a secure.
Well, it might be good to just know where that back street goes to, right?
That's true.
I would hate for us to, like, come out and be like, oh, it's the Tetsu Guard HQ! How
We're right out-
wonderful!"
Yeah.
March right into a cell. Oh.
Oh,
Well-
oopsie daisy.
That's Grand Central, and you all know that Grand Central is right there. Which also probably might be why there's not a lot of Tetsu guard. Grand Central is where Tetsu Guard HQ is at, as well as other things, but it's most of the Broznov's more bureaucratic stuff sits in Grand Central, and that includes the main headquarters. There are little Tetsu Guard like stations throughout the city,
Yeah.
but the main one is like right there.
Wait, so the back road goes right to Grand Central?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's
I
a
was like,
there's
I was
a
joking.
no. The district
I
is
don't want it
right
to
next
go
to Grand
straight
Central.
there.
Academia is like
Okay.
right next to Grand Central.
Mm-hmm. So it probably would be good to know where that road goes, just in case.
Yeah. Probably just go down all of them, to be fair. Just to be safe. If we have the time, might as well. Because we don't know which exit we're coming out of. We could ultimately just come out of the sewer, too.
Yeah, we don't know.
True. Could take one of the waterways to get out. Go through the guts. Not as fun, but it is an option.
Take one of the what?
The DM stopped.
Oh, did you guys lose me?
Huh?
What was that? Sorry. You cut off.
I was saying could take the guts, which is not as fun, but it's an option.
Gun
Sue,
blade.
worse. Sue, worse. Sue, worse. Oh yeah, so why don't you just scope out those exit paths for us? That'd be good.
See, like, where they lead, maybe where
Yeah.
I can find someplace more discreet to...
Yeah,
Hide.
little places for us to duck in
Yeah.
and hide.
And of course, all the while, I'll also keep an eye out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and sewer entrances, maybe?
Sewer entrances. What about
Some-
rat?
Oh, if only. He would probably have liked that more than going to the museum.
So you're gonna go check out the roads, right? Figure out your pathways. Roll perception to kind of follow the roads along. Because while they are, they're they're much more clear than the rest of Broznov, because, this is part of the kettle, which is, the nicer part of Broznov. Still needs a little bit
One
of
day we'll
navigating.
live here. One day we'll live here.
Move up.
Yep.
19.
19. So you investigate that road, and as it happens, that less notable road that you kind of follow along doesn't actually lead to the other parts of the kettle like the other main roads do. This one will actually take you through a series of alleyways, and it goes through kind of an overlooked part of, like, because each of the districts are they're kind of partitioned a little bit. But this one isn't really so, and it takes you actually through Scrap Pile, which was that junkyard area, or the industrial area, I should say. You've been there in the first session. That's where you had to go, and you found that dwarf when you took the crown.
Interesting.
I think that just might be good enough. We don't have to
Yeah.
find a place to...
We can easily get lost. As in, like, get lost from the guard's attention or whatever in the scrap pile. Easier than in the kettle.
Find a stack of hay. Maybe some wandering monks.
Yep.
Oh, true. Or we just hide in the garbage.
Oh, that's
And
But
you
I
know
like
that
it.
yeah, Scrap Pile is a district that's part of the toolbox, which isn't far from the neighborhood where you guys are at. It also connects to the merry-go-round as well. That's where you guys that was the big loop, the trading
Oh
roads.
yeah, and the merry-go-round, a great place to go to lose a tail. Because there's so many fucking people.
Yep.
The dogs are hardest.
Yeah. Oh, but the dogs are not on the merry-go-round. They're in copper.
Oh, that's true. That's right.
I remember. Haha! Cal remembers.
Was such a strange and interesting town indeed. But yeah, Copper Street is where most of the dogs are at. Yeah. So you could get into Toolbox through this road, which is a lot faster and more. Well, I wouldn't say it's actually not faster. It's as you would figure, it's a lot more difficult to chase after someone in there because the scrap pile itself is pretty labyrinthian in the fact that you're navigating through an entire district of like scrap and trash and warehouses and industrial complexes. This is basically like the factories essentially.
Yeah. If we do need to make a hasty getaway, probably.
The other roads that you can kind of lead out of, well, one takes you straight to Grand Central, and then another one will take you to.
You don't want that.
Yeah, another one takes you to the park, which is another part of the kettle.
Who just wants to go to the park?
Just in case something happens, I'll probably still follow these roads to see if there is a place we can find. Because again, I don't know which exit we're gonna come out of.
Okay. So, like, what part of Grand Central does it go to?
Well, Grand Central is just one district, and it sits in the dead center of Broznov. It's like a giant square in the middle of the city. But yeah. Pretty much Grand Central connects to all of the major districts through one way or another. It connects to Academia for the kettle. It connects to the Old Kingdom through a pathway. It connects to. It's basically if you want to get from one district to another, it's one of the quickest routes essentially because it's like the hub.
It's also the most dangerous because it's got the most guards and stuff.
Yep. It's also where the most Tetsu. Well, maybe not the most, but it's basically the Tetsu Guard kind of own it because their headquarters is right there. And if something like, a robbery were to happen and they would need to send guards out, they would be coming straight from Grand Central to help out the station.
They'll probably be coming from there if we trigger some sort of alarm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So things
I
don't.
guess the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if things don't go well, expect Tetsu Guard to come swarming from that side.
Well, that's good to know too. If things go wrong, we know where they're coming from, probably.
I guess the better thing to do is not head in that path, but like if we have to go through that exit, where can we cut to, like the junkyard?
Well, if you go from the scrap pile, your experience from the scrap pile, the junkyard scrap, same difference. From scrap pile, you can kind of, you know that that scrap pile is connected to the merry-go-round, and from there you can actually get back to the neighborhood. You could maybe go to, also the park, which is another part of the kettle, and then further in is the strip, which is kind of like all the nice fancy restaurants. It's essentially like it's the rich people neighborhoods. Hanging Garden and the ports aren't really on this side.
We want to end up going to the scrap pile,
That
probably.
is definitely our ideal.
From the strip, you could make it to the Hanging Garden. And then you could loop back into the toolbox. So you could either continue further through the.
Go back to the toolbox.
Well, the toolbox is where the neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah, until we're sure that we're not being followed, we don't want to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much
Sure.
Toolbox is your guys' home for now. It's
No, we just have to close the door. They're legally not allowed to.
Oh yeah, you're right.
GTA logic.
Show me the warrant, copper. Show me the warrant.
Get them with that GTA logic. They're like, all right, they went inside. I guess we can't get them.
Oh, we gotta get a warrant, I guess. Oopsies.
It'll take at least 5 months.
Oh boy.
Alright. Good to know. What information?
But yeah.
That's a good information.
Yeah. Gotta get down under the music. Or into the
Yeah,
second floor, lower floor somehow.
We will have to discuss.
Indeed.
But that's for later.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Anything else?
Seiza, anything else you look into?
Not really. Again, just keep my eye out.
Alright. Well, with your collective, investigations, it's kind of the conclusions you sort of lead to. The party that had gone to the museum, Kor and, Akira, returned back, and you all meet back up after, what is presumably probably about an hour or so. Maybe a little more than an hour, maybe 2 hours of looking around.
Sure. That still gives us time to get home and take a nap. And discuss.
Function.
Yep.
Yep.
For our second outing. Third, technically. And I get our final bits of the information that we... Although, I don't know how... we still might be able to glean something.
Doing another pass.
Actually, wait, no, it will be useful.
There was some mystery.
Taylor wants to see how they close the place up.
Yeah, and that's good to know too. What does it look like when
Yeah.
they close up?
Yeah.
I don't know if we planned on going through with it, but we can also try to stay
Mm.
and see like how they kick us out or if they kick us out at all.
Yeah. That's part of it. We were gonna stay just at closing time. If they even care. Hopefully they do. Because if we'll have to figure out
Get out.
a backup. We'll have to figure out how to get out of that madhouse.
This isn't funny, guys.
Help! You've locked us in.
They leave. They
Like,
just
oh wow, they really do just close the doors.
they just close the doors and turn on the haunted animatrons.
No.
Oh.
No. What is that odd music playing in the background?
Bum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum
Wait,
ba-dum.
It got to be your view though.
Alrighty. For reference, it'll be about 10 hours until the museum closes. Its operating hours is only during Broznov Day.
Perfect.
So, you return home and presumably you guys will
You guys
share
want to
your
watch Core
findings.
sleep for 8 hours?
Or sleep.
Do you guys want to watch Core sleep? He makes really cute little... He doesn't snore, but he makes like little snuffling noises.
Oh.
Oh my god. Did you say like a bee?
No,
I said like
puppy.
a puppy.
Like a puppy.
Oh, okay. So I was like, how the hell do you know how a bee sounds like when it's asleep?
Oh, I know.
You ever heard a bee snore?
No. I've never heard a bee sound like anything besides.
That's how I sleep every night. I put on the bee snoring ASMR.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you put on the bee movie.
No, I don't want Jerry Springer lulling me to sleep.
Oh my gosh. Are you sure?
No.
Are you sure?
Okay.
John Jerry
Okay.
Springer, sorry, signed.
Yeah, Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, they're the same to me. They're not, but it's fine.
Oh god.
Trying to figure out which spells I should take for our actual heist, because I probably don't want to take all these detection spells.
Probably not. I need to do
I'm tempted to take I'm tempted to take silence, but the problem is that it's not going to work on traps.
No.
I am back.
Yeah.
I mean,
It would be
back home.
effective against the beholder.
And
Actually, not.
And
kind of.
it could help us if we're like, we have to sneak through this area quietly.
We need to break down a wall.
Oh wait, shoot, that's good. Actually, I'm taking it just
Yeah.
for that purpose. If we're like, we
Yeah.
have to blow something up.
I only know that because of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. That's exactly how silence works.
The amount of times I had to like smash a wall is like, okay, everyone shut up.
I'll bring the eyeball again, but I actually want to save my 3rd level spell slots for
Yeah.
the spell magic.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll bring it just in case.
And we know not to dispel the one.
You can't dispel a gun.
Do you think I still need find traps, or do you think we're just gonna have to accept what we know already?
I think we're good because you two located most of them, no?
I think so.
The only thing
Yeah.
would be if there's any traps down below.
Oh, down there, yeah.
That's true.
That's
Maybe
the
I
only
should
thing.
keep it. Yeah, I'll keep it. I am keeping my healing spells, so if we do get into a fight, I will have my healing spells still. And I'm not that. Even with my other spells, I'm not that combat oriented anyway, so I'm not gonna be a huge loss. Don't worry, I'll sacred flame them. Sacred flame. Yeah, I think we'll go back home and have a chat. Once I get back.
Information.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back!
I'm pretty sure I said
Oh, I guess.
Oh.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
I
I
forgot.
was in the zone.
That's okay. But yeah, I'm here.
We'll go home.
Yeah, can't just.
We'll share.
Yeah.
I'll attempt to draw out the things I saw behind those hidden doors in the floor, so we have an idea. I found, once we get in our house, so, I'll look around and make sure that no one's listening to us. Paranoid about our house being
We're
invaded.
the only ones in here.
I found it. I found the crown.
You did?
Yes, it is in a chamber about 50 feet below the large statue. I'm not sure how you get down there, but we did find a secret passage behind the statue in the exit area. And there's an open shaft that may lead down there.
Did you figure this out with your magic?
Yes, the power of magic. I'll hold my glasses out. The power of magic.
Magic.
It'll work out in the future, I think.
Another hydrate. Okay, Shadow.
Very handy to have.
Yes, it's very useful. Well, these glasses were a little expensive.
Seems
this
well
costs-
worth it.
Focus costs 100 gold.
Hot dang.
At least as of when we were in the museum, that's what it was. It looked like they had already sort of set it up in some kind of very, very fun display. There's like a pile of gold, and it looks like a little dungeon. think the kids are really gonna like that exhibit. It's very fun.
Hopefully they will enjoy it with one less.
Hopefully. I mean, the
object in
pile of gold is pretty impressive. I think if I actually, not even as a kid, I personally pile of gold. Oh yeah, there's a statue of a dragon down there. It's red and big. It wasn't a real It wasn't a real dragon, I think.
I've had my fair share of dragons.
You?
Hmm?
Have fought a
You
dragon?
have?
No, I haven't. No. Sorry.
Oh.
Forget it.
Oh, I'm
Everyone's
writing
looking
this
at Caesar.
down. I'm writing this down.
Get my sub class.
Akira
I'm
just
writing
being
it
like,
down.
I don't think I've fought a dragon before, an actual one at least.
Well, no one's fighting dragons.
Really?
Or at least I hope we're not.
You fought a fake dragon then?
No?
Is that how I'm supposed to take that?
No, I've never fought anything like a dragon
Insight
or
check.
adjacent to a dragon.
Inside check.
Yeah.
Inside check. Inside check.
Uh-oh.
Insight.
Oh, it's bad. 12.
Tell us about the dragon, Caesar.
I can't beat a 12. Okay, so I fought a chromatic. No,
Oh my god.
Holy
Can
shit.
you really not beat it? I'm sure you can beat
no,
it.
I'm joking.
Oh,
Sorry, I sounded so mean. No, of course I'm joking.
Hot damn.
No, yeah.
hard to read.
Caesar's not drunk enough. This is what happens when she's sober. She gets
Angry at everything.
Well, you're
Caesar has two modes,
No.
angry or happy drunk.
Do you want me to roll for this?
if you want. Are you hiding something from us, Fribble?
Are you?
No.
Oh,
I'll be honest, no.
oh my. Well, you better do something because now Core thinks you have a tragic backstory with dragons. Maybe they killed your parents.
No. Mr. Wonder, occasionally I dream of dragons, okay? And I don't know what caused it, and I don't know why it happens. That's all there is to it.
Dreams are very important, though. I know now's not the time, Caesar, but we should explore this someday.
Look, I also dream of unicorns and rainbows. I don't think it matters.
Those are important too. We can discuss those also. Core looks like a dead serious. Like, this is very important. Whatever you dream
I'll
about,
admit
we
I'm
can
on-
talk about it.
Sure, let's just
I'm
get
on
back to the
Caesar's
past.
side, I think. I don't think dreams are necessarily anything important. I suppose they could be, but drugs.
We should explore.
We should explore your dreams, Taylor.
What did you dream about?
I don't remember my dreams, so I couldn't tell you.
Sometimes I
That
dream
is
about
pretty
cheese.
I should think it is.
The mouth just dreams of cheese.
And then judges.
And then judges.
Sorry, background does not be good at hands.
Yes.
Dragon.
Dreams
Yes.
died.
Interesting.
Oh, and I'm sure that it's the real crown. Because again, Core just makes like a hand gesture at Taylor. Magic-y reasons. I was looking for the very specific one. So it's not a replica.
That's good to know.
So we know it is, now we just need to get there.
Mm-hmm. Figure out how to get down there.
You mentioned that there's a hole behind.
A shaft of some sort.
There
Also-
may be another way down.
Perhaps. There was a door in the room with the crown, but there are limits. I can only see as far as I can normally see, so I couldn't see through the next door.
There's
There
still
was a
plenty of information
non-magical
to begin with.
statue. It sounded like there was something uneven about the ground
Oh yes,
at that statue.
the two elves that flank the dragon statue. Yes. One of them was completely non-magical, which was interesting.
Yeah, that's the one that seems
The-
like it can move.
Mm-hmm. But there's nothing behind it.
But the
Maybe-
ground is uneven.
Maybe below it. Mm-hmm.
So if there is a mechanism, it would be below.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Well, anything that is potentially below is worth exploring, I think.
Yeah. Oh, and that hallway Taylor that you said looked like bad news. It's bad news!
I'm glad for the confirmation.
There was so much magic in that room, I was temporarily blinded. There's a lot.
Understood. We completely avoid that room, that hallway.
Yeah, and
I
the
would have
room
liked
with
to
the
have done that anyway.
yeah, the room with the telescopes has some kind of puzzle in it. I feel like, unless absolutely necessary, we probably want to avoid that one. It seemed pretty dangerous if you get the puzzle wrong, and I'm not confident in my abilities to solve a puzzle. I can barely do the weekly Sudoku in the newspaper, so.
Sudoku.
I'm not even sure how to go about figuring out what the intended puzzle even is in the first place.
I would guess it's probably history related, something to do with the theme of the room, right?
Thing is, what is the prize being into?
Yeah,
In that
It is.
room?
it's a little interesting.
Because if it is, it doesn't have a bearing on what we need to do.
That's true. Eyes on the prize. Or talks to himself sometimes.
As they do.
I mean, that's pretty normal.
Oh,
Same
let's see.
stuff.
What else is important? The Valvadiri dragon. It's full of guns, like we expected.
Yes.
There's some magic on it, but divination, so maybe it's more like sensory sort of thing. Sense where to shoot you. And then the other dragon head definitely
Fighting where to
probably
shoot.
launches like fire or something. But there is something interesting in that room that I'm not sure what it is, but there's like a spell over the entire like floor in that area, but I'm not sure what it does.
That's better for your health, or
Maybe? Or looks genuinely concerned about the possibility that you could get like radiation damage from a spell being all over a floor.
Radiant.
you may not feel its effects today, but like 30 years down the line.
Is this gonna cause cancer? I never thought about that. I'm not sure. It could be as simple as just like an alarm. But I don't know. It's just a mystery to me.
Maybe we don't need to find out.
Yeah. I think if we want to go, I guess we'll have to see when they close if the moving sidewalk keeps moving or not. Because if not, if it keeps moving, we're gonna need to find a way to get to that little opening without going all the way through the rest of the museum.
Yes. We're bypassing it or perhaps stopping or breaking the moving floor in some manner.
Now I regret not using detect magic on it. Because I can't actually tell us if it's mechanical or magical. If it was magical, I could just dispel the enchantment. Though, I mean, I guess if it's mechanical, we could just break it.
Yeah,
Hydrate. Okay. Shadow is coming in and just like slipping in a hydrate redeem here and there.
Good. It's important. Thank you for your service.
Anything else of note that you found out?
Let's see. Corwell reviewed his notes. There was a door. We talked about the hidden statue, the location. There's lots of magic all over the place. Oh, Interestingly, the statues in the last room before the moving sidewalk, the dwarf with the chalice, the human and the elves who are all, they're not magical. All the other statues, other than that elven one, are magical. Those ones aren't, but there are traps in that room. They are just mechanical traps.
I did note that these statues seem to have some sort of articulation in them. I imagine that plays into it.
Yeah, and there is a way to, like, I don't want to say disarm, but I guess is the best word for it. There is a way to disarm the traps. Sort of. Basically, I got the sense that there was a way to be in there without setting off the traps if you manipulated certain elements of the room correctly. Because if you manipulated them incorrectly, the trap would trigger. Which seems to imply that if you did something right, it wouldn't go off. Maybe there's something that you pull, or a lever, or something.
Understandable.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys remember something a DM said that I'm forgetting? Let me know. Oh, there are birds of paradise growing in the plant room. Isn't that nice?
I don't know what that is.
It's very beautiful.
How
Beautiful
can a
flower.
bird grow?
Oh,
It's a flower?
it's so clever. Yes, it's a flower, but it looks like a bird. A wonder of evolution.
Oh.
He thinks about it.
Strange.
Yeah, that's a good way of describing that plant, I guess.
Plant.
Plant. It didn't look edible.
No, I don't think genuinely they are.
Everything's edible at least once.
Akira's motto for life. Everything and everybody is edible at least once. You mean everybody, Akira? What do you mean?
We know,
Leave
we
it at-
just are sad to know.
Don't worry. If any of you guys die, there will be no evidence of your body.
Damn.
We're supposed to be comforted by this?
I mean, as long as we return to the Earth at some point, does it really matter how we get back?
Hell no, I don't want to be
Like, man,
a
that's
snack.
fun.
He will carry you all the way.
Oh. Except you won't, because we will eventually pass through your digestive system.
It's true.
You won't carry us with you at all times.
I'll carry you for at
Golden
least
spirit.
48 hours.
That's messed up.
Nice.
Brother.
Well, the good
Damn.
news is that they're not toxic, so you could eat them.
Did you say you could eat them?
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, I think they can be eaten. It
I
just
don't think they're good.
they don't taste good. Yeah.
Most flowers aren't.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about them
Hmm.
being toxic. They actually are considered, like, they don't produce any pollen, so, like, for allergies, they're pretty nice.
Yeah.
Non-allergenic, chewy flower. Yum.
Yeah.
I wonder
Yum.
what they taste
That's your takeaway.
I mean, I think I have some growing outside. I
No,
could.
please don't. Just
No.
because on Wikipedia it doesn't say that it's toxic doesn't mean you should eat it.
It's
Don't
okay.
mean
If
that
you don't hear
something-
from me in 30 minutes, you know what happened.
Oh my. Bro actually went and got poisoning from a freaking flower.
This is one of those things where you should play it safe. Like,
Damn it, I'm not Mau Mau.
oh my god.
Do not eat the birds of paradise flower.
Wait, I think maybe Wikipedia was wrong. Well, it just didn't list it on Wikipedia. It's a minimally toxic plant.
Does
You
that
can
mean?
eat a little bit. But eating too much might give you gastrointestinal problems like diarrhea.
Damn.
You're
I
not gonna
bet.
die. You're not gonna die if you eat it.
It'll just
but
give you the
It's just gonna
shits.
suck for a little bit.
It's not gonna make you feel good either.
Body will be like, why? Why have you done this?
Dude, there's food in the fridge. Why does he do this?
Yeah, it's generally considered safe, but some people have stomach problems after they eat it.
Imagine Akira gets stomach issues after eating the birds of paradise in the museum.
You know
Oh,
what?
no.
She's mostly a carnivore, so you know, plants would probably make her sick.
Damn.
Oh no, she can't digest greens.
Sad.
He's not used to it.
Today we learn.
Today we learned.
So that's what we learned in our museum trip today. I also got to have a very fun review of the schools of magic. I haven't gone over that since I left the temple. Very interesting to learn about again. Review. Hopefully I got them all right. It's been a while. Not really my specialty.
Certainly hope so as well.
Yippee.
I'm a farmer. I don't know if you guys have forgotten. I'm a farmer.
I can't believe you
Well-
go to school for magic.
Yeah, that's what
I
all
didn't-
farmers do.
I didn't go to
I
school for
suppose-
magic.
Then why do they call schools of magic?
I don't actually know. Let's ask the professor about it next time we see him.
Dang.
He's gonna be like, you dumb fuck.
Bruh.
Damn.
0 points.
0 points.
Points.
Next. I don't know why, actually. The druids didn't tell me that. They just told me what they were.
The druids.
The druids.
The druids.
The druids.
Not the druids.
The mystery of them too.
Oh no.
They're not really mysterious. I lived with them my whole life. There's no mystery.
There's another mystery, but it doesn't exist here. Thankfully. At least not
Good.
yet.
Oh, good. Hannigan's not here. Good.
Aw,
Oh
thank
no, he
God.
canonically does exist in Broznov.
No, I'm
Oh.
quitting the campaign.
Oh, that's right,
It's
he
a-
does.
I
It-
got enough of
does.
him
I
already.
forgot.
it's not the same Halligan as the one you guys know, but a Halligan exists in Broznov.
I
That's
should put
Still
Hannigan
not
in
good.
Persona. See
No,
what
I'll
happens.
quit. I'll
No,
quit.
Aw.
we don't want that. No one liked that.
No
one
one
like that.
Like that.
There is a Columbo though. Columbo does exist.
He's fine. That's fine.
He's
He's cool.
acceptable.
if he
Acceptable.
just one more thing. I saw you do it. Gonna have to send you to the Columbo zone. He's one of the scariest detectives out there.
Let's not make sure not to draw his ire.
He's he's a how catch 'em, so he will catch you.
It's okay. Me neither. Just be afraid.
Okay.
I mean-
Let's be afraid.
I mean, don't
Don't
be
worry.
afraid. We're not criminals. We've never done anything wrong.
Imagine
We're-
if Columbo and Halligan teamed up.
That would be a
We're on
horrible,
the straight and
horrible
narrow.
thing. I don't think they could actually team up anyways. Mostly because Halligan, because Columbo is a how catch 'em detective, which is unique. So you know how most mystery shows and most mystery like stories, it's a whodunit, as in you get shown the crime, you get shown the clues, but you have to find the perp. Columbo is a how catch 'em, as in you get shown the perp. It's a matter of time before eventually it's revealed how the perp is caught. That's a how catch 'em. It's you already know who the criminal is. Now to find out how they got it and how they're gonna get busted. Yeah, it's actually a very interesting format of show. It would make Oh, sorry, what?
Remind me of Ace Attorney, where you know like you did it, you just need to prove it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's also like a how catch 'em. You know it happened. You just have to like piece together how it happened. And Columbo is I mean he's a very old TV show, but yeah, that was a series that they did, and that was their format. You actually each episode would follow along the perpetrator of the crime, and it was just Columbo would just show up and he'd be like, by the way, I found these clues, and pretty interesting that this kind of did this, and it's kind of connected like this, don't you think? And it's just like you just slowly kind of like get closer and closer. Yep. So it was almost like a horror show in that regard. If the main character wasn't a freaking perp. Would make great for a horror campaign. Avoiding a how catch 'em detective.
I'm an innocent little boy. I've never done anything wrong.
Core is definitely not a criminal.
No.
Just a little dude.
He's just a little guy. A little 6'1" guy.
Unfortunately,
Little guy in the dream.
being implicit is still a crime in Broznov.
Yeah,
I bring
I
black.
think after this, he's definitely a criminal.
Yeah. Core, you are not. Core is not a criminal, but he's definitely implicit. And that's more than enough to. Yeah. It's
It's
more
okay,
than enough.
beholders are people, so who cares?
Damn!
Wow, beholders have rights too. You can't say that.
I have the
Damn!
right to remain silent.
Whoa. I can't believe they're gonna throw Core in jail. God.
Technically, those aren't people, to be fair.
I mean, I guess you're right, but still, they're certainly not humanoids.
For an alien being, I think they've passed the point of being a human.
It's like seeing an aboleth has rights.
Dang. Well, alright. Problematic things aside. Oh, gee. I was going to ask if y'all have committed war crimes, but I guess you're on the way there. Well, I want to hydrate. Kind of. I mean, you guys weren't directly responsible for killing 100 assassins, but you definitely killed most of
It's not
them.
a war crime.
It's not a war crime.
War crime.
Depends. Does the Geneva Convention exist here?
You'll have to ask the Archmage of Valvadiri.
Oh, do you think they'll harbor us because we're running from the Syndicate? If we can talk to them, my first question is not going to be what is the conventions of war here. It's going to be help.
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 Yeah.
Help.
Help.
Help. Help.
Please keep us away from these people. We are not allowed in Broznov anymore. We are wanted men.
We are wanted by at least 3 countries. Help.
We are wanted by Broznov. Please do not send us back.
Oh god.
I'll do your gardening for the rest of my life. Just don't send me back.
Like a dream job for him, probably, to be honest.
Yippee! Wow. He
Jesus,
does
drop
have
my
a calling.
metal
He
die.
has a calling.
Aspirations.
Yeah, he has a calling. He does love gardening, but he can't just be like, I'm gonna work in your garden for the next 500 years, or whatever, how long I'm gonna live.
Mhm.
He has stuff to do.
Also, I'm pretty sure the only person that would have actually probably committed war crimes is Akira, let's be real.
probably.
Yeah.
No, I could see Taylor pulling something.
Is cannibalism?
No, remember,
Um,
cannibalism is legal in itself. We've been over this. It's how you acquire the body that could possibly be illegal.
I think that might depend on Broznov. Would
I'm
Broznov
gonna
consider cannibalism a crime?
I'm gonna say no on that, Chief. I'm gonna say cannibalism is, you know, I'm gonna say cannibalism is a crime.
Not
If
really in a fantasy setting.
it's I'm gonna say for ethical reasons it's a crime. You
Yeah, but
cannot-
if you're starving and there's only 2 people, what you gonna do, huh? And one of them dies, now what? Huh?
My guy, you are
that's
in a
not-
populated city where you can find food. You ain't in the middle of the desert.
That doesn't apply to you.
Ethically sourced
Here.
bodies doesn't feel like a very
I mean, it's
lucrative
not.
economy. They could be in Broznov. A lot of people get killed out here. But
How do
they're
you
not
get here
typically
being a
ethical.
living?
It's economical in some point of view.
There's definitely
Maybe
some
not the
difficulties on
laws of
that
the
one.
state.
Sir, I said ethically. Alright, fair. A lot of people do die, but it's not very natural causes. Well, I mean, I guess it is kind of natural, you know, being shot,
And look,
stabbed,
somebody
or...
gotta clean the mess. There's only so many graves, so you know.
Yeah, but I probably wouldn't be doing this publicly.
Fair enough.
Hey.
That's why she got a reputation, which fortunately has not come up yet.
Mhm.
Akira being a criminal isn't exactly the biggest revelation ever. Alright.
Akira's
Like,
not
oh no, she's
Getting domed is not natural. Well, okay,
That's
getting
not a
getting domed is natural, but you know, everything that follows after, that's fairly natural.
Dying is natural. Yeah.
Dying is natural.
criminal. She's a good girl. She's not a criminal.
Just a little quirky. You know.
Just a little
Taylor
quirky.
knows exactly what kind of person Akira is, looking straight at Cora like,
She has a good heart.
I'll give you that.
Also eaten a lot of hearts.
Yeah, he did a lot of hard.
I mean, it's very iron rich, I suppose.
I see why everyone says every PC group is just a collective of murder hobos. Damn. Oh, this isn't even the worst.
Hey.
This is at least with this we're you know, the murder hoboing is usually without the RP.
Hey, we
Yeah.
only murder in self-defense.
It's true.
Yeah, at least I
didn't
don't
want
murder
to fight all those
indiscriminately.
assassins.
I'm not
didn't.
Costin.
True.
We didn't want to.
Everybody you've killed has
That's-
come at you with the intent to kill you. Hence the 100
Yeah.
assassins and
That
the
is-
other problems that you've come across.
Well, yeah, I don't think we've struck first a single time.
That is
Exactly.
true.
Does that make it better or worse? Well, it makes it better. Sort of. It makes them definitely better. Doesn't make their situation better.
We're getting arrested, yeah, but like, at least we can sleep easy at night.
Yeah. When
They're-
the Tetsu guards show up, they won't be taking them away. When the Tetsu guards show up, they're like, oh, these guys were trying to kill you. Alright, cool. Have a nice day.
Yeah. They might be like, wait, I think one of them's missing.
Wait,
But we
Are
don't
we
ask
missing
you
an
what-
officer?
Yeah. No, you wouldn't do
We're
that.
missing a body, and then we're just all gonna look at each other and be like, no, I think they're all accounted for,
Mhm.
officer.
Yeah.
yeah.
Didn't you say there was 5 assassins after you? What do I count for?
Oh, I guess I
We can't
miscounted. I'm
count.
sorry.
We
I'm gonna
can't
be real.
count
I've,
us.
Oh,
I've never been to school before, so.
funniest
Dang.
story
Akira just
actually.
covered. Actually, no, she wouldn't even be covered in blood because her fucking
Her clothes
outfit is so clean.
No,
Yeah,
would
you be
your
covered in
glamoring
blood?
outfit
I
that
guess
cleans itself of all of its freaking grime.
It all
I
comes
almost feel
full
that's a low
circle.
bar.
Yeah, but also she's a black dragonborn. Good luck being red on black.
Yeah, I'm just a red dragonborn.
Seems legit.
Listen, she has a skin condition. It's really rude
Your
to point that out.
confidence. Sir, I am illiterate.
She's just dripping. It's
Oh no,
I
don't worry,
would
this is my blood. Why are you
I mean,
covered in it?
That
That's a lot
that
of
would
blood.
be core. He'd just be like, "Don't worry, I'm just bleeding out. I didn't stab anyone. That's me.
The only person I stabbed is me.
They stabbed me. I don't even have a knife."
she's covered in enough scars to make that a fair point. So
Oh, I do have a knife. Why do
I do
knife?
have a knife.
Forgot what we were doing. I'm done.
We're planning. We're planning our
Planning, yeah.
heist.
Dude, I
Planning
own
this
a
heist.
knife. I own a small knife. It's not even a dagger. It's a small knife.
Oh,
I
I
also
have a dagger.
great axe, but I never use it.
Your axe is used when you need to go
has-
easy.
Yeah.
I also have 4 javelins, which never get used.
Well, because you
don't
can
even
reach
carry them.
anywhere.
Yeah.
A javelin implies they're out of reach.
When you're a barbarian that can have 10 foot of range whenever she feels like it,
They're in range.
you're in range.
Yes.
We were technically.
We were planning.
planning.
I've shared all my information.
Mm-hmm. So, I think that's all the details, more or less.
From the inside of the museum, yeah.
We do have a little bit of stuff on the outside.
What did you guys do? Did you have a nice coffee date?
Coffee date?
Drink coffee.
Yeah, I saw that little cafe on the way in. Did you have a nice time?
I don't drink coffee.
Oh,
I
you
suppose so.
prefer tea?
He just
I think she
smiled.
prefers alcohol.
Oh,
Alcohol.
That's not usually what I hear about people drinking. I
He
guess
just
this
smiled.
I guess this is. So that's what you put in the mug? I thought it was coffee this whole time.
I don't think coffee usually smells like that.
Oh, I mean, I'm
I
not getting
suppose
that
it
close
could.
that I can smell it, but. Interesting.
Like, okay. What did you find?
I didn't see too much. I was looking out for our rivals, but that gang either have not showed up, will not show up, showed up earlier, or might be showing up after us. It was a long shot, but all things to keep in mind. Based on what we've heard, I'm not necessarily expecting them to plan out like we have, which could be problematic for us, and we'll have to account for it. Otherwise, I did take note that there are not many Tetsu Guard patrolling. Perhaps 2 squads. So I am aware that Grand Central is very close, and they could probably get reinforcements rather quickly. Still, as far as immediate, well, law enforcement are concerned, there aren't many. And if we do have any problems with them, there won't be many of them at a time either. Otherwise, there wasn't really much of note.
Interesting. That sounds important.
It's good to know at least.
Yeah.
They are. Oh, actually, as far as they're concerned as well, they aren't heavily armed. They're not like we see around here. They're not used to or expecting any sort of trouble, it seems.
Ah, I see.
The silver
Very
plate
light
robe-
equipment.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. That does bring up a possibility, which is if things go bad with this other gang, we should look like normal citizens. Because possibly we could pin any chaos on them and use the Tetsu Guard to our advantage.
You very much could.
Not a lot of them, so they won't be very observant. So yeah.
And probably more likely to believe a random person coming up to them saying, "Help, help, there's danger," and then pointing to an obvious gangster. Probably a little less likely to read into that as something suspicious and just take it at face value.
That might that might come bite us down the line, though. They usually question the first witnesses.
This would just be in case of absolute emergency. Like, we're in big trouble.
I think the best thing for us is just to avoid them altogether.
Yeah.
Ideally.
But in case shit really hits the fan, potentially could use them as backup.
If it does, just leave the talking to me.
Of
I
course.
am somewhat well versed in these sorts of things.
I'll just stand there and look like this, and then Cord just like ruffles his hair a little bit and then looks down and just looks so sad. Dejected.
The wet puppy.
The wet puppy look.
little pout.
That will certainly go a ways to helping. It might be good as well if we can manage it in the time we have to have some different outfits for us.
Yeah, definitely.
Something more like what might be found in that district.
Oh, like
It'd be easy to pass as.
maybe not uniforms, but something that's generic, right? You don't necessarily want a
Yes.
uniform because that might connect them to a school.
Something that any student might have while they're just out and about.
There's just so
There are
not
plenty of
my
schools around there.
style. That's-
Oh, I think it would suit you.
No.
It's not really
No.
my style either, but needs be. If it would help us.
And
Yes.
or we could
We're not.
most uniforms are what, like a button shirt, pants, a robe.
Something like that.
You
Difficult.
could just wear
The scholar
the
uniforms?
casual part of it, like the
They
What are they
have a
usually made out of? Like
they have a
robe,
pretty
right?
distinguished look, actually. They're a lot of them are made of much finer
Is
materials.
there like a more casual thing that they wear like under like the robes? Like what if they like got rid of the fancy coat and the robe? Did they just have like a button-up shirt on or something?
It's pretty uncommon. But yeah, I suppose you could wear something like that. It would be a little difficult to kind of... Wouldn't be as easy to pass for that, but you could still definitely... you could. It could be possible to pass for it.
As long as we don't spend out too much. It doesn't matter if we do a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at night
That's-
it would be understandable if you sort of abandoned your more like recognizable uniform. 'Cause you know you're casual, you're off the clock, it's evening. You don't have to wear your big old coat or robe or whatever.
Yeah. We're not really
True.
we're not looking to be someone specific. We just want to look like people who would walk around in that district.
We belong here, yeah.
Yeah.
Just some normal people. Definitely not criminals.
Yep.
And not criminals.
I just have to become a different dragonborn, but thankfully I have my disguise kit. Yippee.
Yippee.
So we're gonna dress up, like business casual, basically.
Pretty much. That was from Halo.
Well, Caesar?
Didn't get much. I was roaming around. Shouldn't have somewhere to run after all this.
That's important.
Got a side exit while we were eyeing up. It leads to the junkyard. And I think that's a good place to duck.
Oh,
This is a
yeah.
very good exit to have. What of the other two?
One of them to the Grand Central. I think we should probably head in the opposite direction of that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nah,
we
just
definitely
stay on
don't
the
want to
scene
go
of the
there.
crime.
Right directly.
They'll never expect us to go straight to Grand Central after committing a crime.
Right under their nose.
Got it.
We'll go and report the crime ourselves.
Have any of you seen the Boondock Saints movie?
No.
Oh yes.
The very beginning.
With Willem
That's what I
Dafoe.
think of. Yeah.
What
Have to
happened?
watch?
They're just please. It's a good movie. I won't say anything more, but yeah,
No spoilers.
there's a scene that I'm reminded of.
Come on, Fiddle, we have to watch it. No spoilers.
Oh, true. Sorry.
Just in case.
If you haven't, I highly recommend the movie.
Yeah.
It is quite
We're
interesting.
gotten into the series.
It's not. I actually don't know if it's connected to the.
Oh, is it not?
Hmm?
I don't
What?
think so. It's,
What, connected to what?
Not connected to the anime?
No, not at all.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it's a completely different thing from Boondocks.
they just share a name.
Yeah. I think they do have
Not
a
really.
Boondock Saints reference in Boondocks, but past that, there's no,
It's similar.
yeah.
It's just kind of similar.
I did not know that.
It has to do, Boondock Saints has to do, it follows two Irish brothers. Yeah, that's all I'll leave it at. It follows these two Irish brothers, and they go and they commit crimes.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Oh boy, here I go committing crimes.
Yep. It is a pretty good movie though. Willem Dafoe really nails his role too. It's just he's an interesting guy in the game, the movie.
Says that. Yes, let's not go to Grand Central. Ideally.
And the other one was Hanging Garden, right?
Well, so of the two pathways, you could go through Scrap Pile into the merry-go-round back home, or you could go deeper into the Kettle, which will take you through the park and then through the strip and then loop back around and then basically make your way back to the neighborhood.
Okay.
I would love to visit the garden, but I sense that now is not really the time.
Or, I'm sorry, I totally
That is
goofed.
something-
So you go through Hanging Gardens to get there. My bad.
Alright.
But yeah.
That's something more for your own time, I think.
I suppose if we make it through this one, let's have a picnic in the garden. It sounds lovely.
You can enjoy that picnic.
I would enjoy it more with you.
I'm good at not going back to the Hanging Gardens.
Oh, the gardens are in the kettle. We're talking about the garden in the kettle, right?
Yeah. The
Mhm.
park.
Yep.
park. So we're not going to the hanging gardens. We're going to the kettle.
Well, you would be going from the park to the strip to the hanging gardens to home. So it'd be a little extra jump, but it would be like, it would be less. It would be a little less stuff because all of the kettle typically does not have like, or at least maybe to at least assume if academia has light security, then the rest of the kettle probably doesn't have too much security. Whereas with the other area, you have the hazards of navigating scrap pile, and then merry-go-round, and then getting there. Because realistically, the most. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if we just wanted to go to the park someday, though, outside of the job, we don't want to have to go to the hanging gardens.
Ah.
Just go to the park.
Yeah. She looks a little pensive at that.
Do you want to build a snowman?
I will think about it.
Okay, that's not a no. That's not a no.
Or we'll take that.
Yeah, Cora will take that. Phew. I need to figure out how to sneak away from the park.
No, but your social obligation.
Oh, like she gives a shit about that? No.
Oh, you say that now, but when you see Cora's little face, it's hard to say no. Look at his little sad puppy face.
She looks pensive. He gives the pensive face.
Giving it the real long thing.
But yeah, that's for another time. That can be our victory lap if we get through this in one piece. If we could even go back into the kettle after this job, I don't know.
It is a mystery.
We'll see where we stand after.
Yes.
Well, we know where it is for now. We just have to figure out how to get down there. How to get it out. Are we bringing it home? How are we doing the handoff? We never quite got that far.
I'm assuming they'll just come find us when they know somehow. Don't know.
They did say they would be watching us, so. Are they watching us now? Perception check.
You just see the Duke just like sitting across the street, just drinking coffee from like from like a cafe.
Tessa's house! No! He's
Yeah.
at Tessa's place! No!
Bro's having coffee with Tessa, just like eyeballing your window.
Oh my god, it's the horror movie where like Tessa's just smiling and serving him coffee and then he turns and looks directly at us with like the most menacing expression and Tessa doesn't even realize she's in danger.
He's just like shooting you the most menacing stare, like the most terrifying grin. He's like, yeah, that's right, I'm here.
Oh man.
Coffee cup. Toast us.
Oh my god, this son of a bitch. But yeah, so we should go back tonight. But can I be honest, my fellow compatriots, I need a nap.
I'll probably be in the club.
Oh,
There she goes.
don't get too drunk.
There's a club near here?
I don't plan on drinking.
But your coffee.
I drink coffee.
Are you sure you don't like tea?
Yes.
I was disappointed.
Someone can change my mind. I don't know.
Carlos motivated again.
Oh no.
You have to stay with me to watch me nap.
No. Okay, I'm gonna go get some rest.
Mhm.
Why don't you guys do some preparations? You want clothes? Clothing?
That would be ideal.
I got
Let
my
me
stuff
write.
covered.
I'll write. Cole will write down his measurements, I guess. These are the measurements they gave me when we got fitted for those nice clothes at the club. Remember?
Oh god, I forgot about that.
Does anyone have any specifications, styles, or whatnot? What else?
I probably need something with sleeves because this, you'll sort of like roll up his coat sleeve, his tattoo goes all the way down his arm. Probably need to cover this up.
I do.
I wouldn't expect them to be sleeveless. We'll keep that in consideration.
Well, I'm not a criminal mastermind, but don't you kind of want to cover up anything really identifiable like
No, like
tattoos?
Like the button-up probably won't be sleeveless.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, but like something with all sleeves that go all the way down, basically. And maybe it might actually be good if it's a slightly darker color than white, just because I have black tattoos.
It would be nice too, just in case we get soot or something on us. Alright, I'll be off.
Oh, and can you give me a new hair tie? He has like a little ratty band that he ties his hair back with, but it's not that great.
She like looks at it, squints.
How is it still functioning?
I'll do you. And she just leaves.
Thank you.
Alright, Core, go take your nap.
I'm going to
Enjoy
sleep
your
right
nap.
now. I need 8 hours.
Yeah.
So,
I drink my sleepy time tea and I go to sleep.
Yep, there
The
you go.
sleepy pinch juice.
Yeah. As Core leaves, Akira's gonna turn to Taylor. You have to help me convince Core that I don't have to go to that park.
I ask why you don't want to go? Or why you can't?
I don't like being around that area.
I think if you explain that to him, he might. I'd expect him to understand. He seems fairly reasonable.
Called where the rich people are. I don't wanna be where all the rich people are.
yippee!
If it makes
you
him
guys-
comfortable, just tell him.
I'll just kick all the rich people out.
What if we live there? What are you gonna do then?
Dream.
Eat them.
What if we become the rich people? What are you gonna do then?
Eat them.
Eat
Oh,
the
no,
rich.
we have to eat the rich, but you're the
Eat
rich.
the rich.
Oh no.
It's for me, it's unchanged.
Akira has become what she hates most.
Edible.
Oh no. Oh no.
Do not ask her if she's eaten Dragonborn before. You might not like the answer.
I assume the answer is yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
yes.
Right now, Taylor's
Actual
assumption to the
cancer.
question, have you eaten? The answer is yes.
Yeah. I think at some point we just stopped asking.
Yeah. It's better for your sanity to not ask these sorts of questions.
Just assume and not ask.
She probably hasn't eaten a water genasi before.
Let's keep it that way.
Let's keep that number at 0.
Or any sort of genasi.
Yeah, you definitely haven't eaten whatever the fuck core is.
Yeah, because Core's still alive.
She is weird. I don't know if there's anyone else like him in the entire world.
Yeah. Okay.
Honkshu.
Honkshu, honkshu. Can we get close? Yippee.
Or
Alrighty.
does he snore? He just muffles a little. Yeah, sniffle.
I'll rest up, plan up, dress up,
Nightmares.
prepare up for this session of or this what do you call it? This heist, which we'll presumably begin next session. I think
Oh my
here's the-
god, next session we heist!
Yep.
If you guys have any ideas for spells I should bring, please let me know and I'll bring them.
I have
Yeah.
no idea, but yeah.
Yar.
Yar.
If you like wake up in the middle of the night.
In a cold sweat.
You need to like you're like Core has to bring this spell.
Yeah.
I'll bring it. I
Just
can
tears
bring
on my eyes.
I
do
can
so.
I can prepare 11 spells.
Hot damn. That's a lot of
Of,
spells.
like, all of our characters dying.
Oh no!
I know what you need. I will say that I say I can prepare 11 spells, but Revivify is always one of them. And I am bringing
Fair.
and I'm also bringing Cure Wounds and Healing Word. So it's 8. Is that right? Yeah, 8.
Okay.
So the point of
Yeah,
a suggestion.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
But don't worry, guys. I can always cast Animal Friendship.
Yippee!
Yeah, my cleric subclass has a lot of interesting spells that I always have. And I'm like, very situational. Yeah. I'm a cleric druid. What can I say?
Yee. Well, unless there's anything else, I'm gonna sign us off for now, and we will.
Pirates?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, that's why Sava keeps saying Yar, because secretly she does want this to become a pirate campaign, and Core would be all for it. Maybe we leave Broznov and we become pirates.
Well, the pirates are across the pond. It's definitely possible. There are many
Well,
things possible.
Legal pirates.
Legal
That's what we'll become.
We still kill people.
Remember, pirates share. I just think about that. They're just like, pirates don't steal. This is a little kid's thing. They're like, oh, somebody doesn't know what pirates are. Alright.
Water
make sure she
walking
doesn't
on
get
you
in the
every
water.
day. What is it?
Uh-oh. I think Discord's
water
freaking
breathing?
out.
Hey, if the One Piece crew can do it, you can too.
Alright, gonna sign off. So, I'll see you guys for next campaign session.
I think that's it for today.
Yep.
Time to actually sleep.
Yeah, me too.
Oh shit.
Alright, cool. It was a good sesh. Uh-oh.